Hey everybody, this is Unauthorized Access. We are your hosts, Chase Hollingshead,
Brad Ellis,
and Chad Curl.
Today we are coming at you. Yeah,
keep it going.
Yeah. Coming at you with a
consistency.
The part 2 of our Halo PodCouch. In the first part, we covered Halo 1, 2, and 3, the original trilogy.
Yeah.
This time we're going to be covering Halo Wars, ODST, Reach, and Halo 4.
Yeah.
Halo 4.
Will we be talking about Halo 5 at all? What we think we'll be having with that? Or
maybe? I don't
know enough.
I don't know enough either. I've seen the trailer, but that's so vague.
Speculate.
You've seen more than I have.
We can speculate and probably do a bad job at it.
Probably.
Or just end on something that we've at least seen played all the way before.
Okay. That sounds that.
So Halo Wars, this is actually our second attempt. We had a good strong hour of footage, and then there was a transformer that caught on fire.
Citywide blackout.
Yeah, knocked out a bunch of people's power. So now we're trying.
Okay,
yeah, and
parts of other cities.
Other cities, yeah. But excuse me. We had a good hour of footage there, and now it's just down the drain. So we're gonna try this again.
And suddenly the power goes out.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
Well, to be fair, the only reason the power went out was because a car crashed into
Is that what happened?
That's
what car crashed into?
That's what my parents have seen on the news.
I just heard that.
Wow.
I just heard that it was it burst.
Yeah, I heard it was
caught
on fire. Yeah.
Shit.
Damn.
You think it's a drunk person doing it?
I don't know.
That's pretty freaking.
We can speculate.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't.
Yeah. Damn, I did not. Holy
That's
shit.
what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard from my parents who watched the news. So.
Holy shit.
All right.
So we're gonna take two. Again, there's still some points. We got about halfway through the Reach discussion, but we can go over the.
And we have to.
Again.
We'll try not to reference the other PodCouch that we already did, or the one that we were recording, because we'd be like, oh hey, remember back in that? Well,
it was like I said the first time. None of you heard it.
Yeah, but all right. So Chad really is the only one that played a lot of Halo Wars.
Yep.
So
we're going chronologically as far as when they were released, and of them, Wars was released first, only a couple months before ODST.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wars, how was it?
Good. I liked it.
Halo Wars wasn't made by Bungie, right?
No,
okay.
It was
Ensemble
That's right.
Studios.
We looked that up because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Bungie made Wars and ODST at the same time. Holy fuck!
Yeah, they're pros. No, Halo Wars was made by Ensemble Studios, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it had a great story. But me being the amazing champion of RTSs that I am, I couldn't do multiplayer with a crap. Being the achievement whore that I am, I did everything I could to get those achievements in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I got the first one where you just play one game on online. Yay, that's it. Then the next one is becoming a lieutenant, which is
the ranking system they use.
There's just a bunch of ranking system achievements.
Yeah. It's one match, lieutenant, and then general.
Mm-hmm.
I got to lieutenant. I think I got a little bit farther than that, and then they shut down the servers.
Damn.
So of that game, you only have one achievement left to do.
I am 49 out of 50.
Forevermore,
you cannot do.
You will never be able to get that.
Cannot ever get 50 out of 50 for that game.
I think part of the reason, it honestly, for a game like that, to have their server shut down, remember when this was? Not when it came out, but when it's shut down?
We can take a look. We can look it up.
Because whenever it was, just the fact that game came out in 2009, and by 2014, and I'm going to assume this was maybe a year or so ago.
I'd say maybe 2 years.
2 years?
2 or 3.
That's not a lot of time
to
have. That's not a lot of time for the servers to be up, because this game didn't sell that well. It didn't do super well.
It didn't, and if you even looked at the number of people on the servers, there really wasn't that many.
Yeah. When did it shut down, Chad? Because this is June of 2013, and they're saying that it was still up.
Really?
Yeah. Are you sure it's shut down?
I thought I heard somewhere that they shut down the.
But did you actually try it yourself?
No, I don't.
So it can still be up this whole time?
Well, I don't even know if I own the game anymore. To be honest, I think I do.
definitely do.
I do own the game still. Yeah.
So
But
servers might still be up.
I think so.
I guess they are. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they.
Wait, go back on that.
That says Halo 3 servers.
Halo
But
Wars
there was
servers.
June 2. Halo.
Not true.
Aha! So I was lied to.
Also, if there is a 2010 post, but there is a 2012 post that I just looked, or a 2013 post where I was like, hey, they're still up. Why would they be shut down in the 2010 post?
Dude, I don't know. Like I said, I just heard it a while ago, and I haven't played the game in forever.
I wish I still had it.
So disregard that entire conversation.
Indeed.
Chad can still get that achievement if he wants.
Hopefully, but it's probably never going to happen because I'm not good at RTSs, and those that still play that game
I was gonna say,
really
probably
good.
are.
Yeah, they're really good.
And even then,
stomped.
like that game, and this was kind of leading into a discussion I was going to have about the game of it not selling very well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it that much, and that's not just because I'm not a big fan of RTSs. I'm not really, but at the same time, I like the Halo universe enough that I figured I'd try the game at least.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I couldn't get used to an RTS on a console.
That's what I was about ready to say. Like, I bet that's one of the reasons why it didn't do that well.
Like it
Because
did
was
well
on
for
a
like
console.
as a game. It's like
Yeah.
a game by itself, but as a Halo game,
If they made that story a first-person shooter,
Oh my
instead,
gosh, it'd
yeah.
be gold.
like if they would
they
if that would have been a game like not made by Bungie in the Halo universe, I'm sure like if you looked at the sales figures, you'd be like, oh, that was a fine game.
Yeah.
But compared to any of the other Halo games, like
It
this
was
was just too. It was too out of left field because it was like suddenly a game set in the universe,
shooter, RTS.
set in the universe way far before any of the other games were set, and it was RTS. It was on a console, and even just looking, like honestly, when I first saw the game and I looked at some gameplay, everything like just the designs of the like elites and the soldiers,
gameplay.
like it looked like the changes they had to make to the designs of those characters to make it fit an RTS view. It made it look too weird. Like looking at an elite in that game feels weird to me because it's like the shoulders are blocky and it looks like everything's way too angled. Like the face looks like it looks too like hunched over, like evil.
Well, it's also like really small.
Yeah,
Like,
but
they had to
I know, but
scale
I'm
it
saying
down a
like
lot.
that whole like that the changes in the design they made and the fact there was a different studio, different genre, different time period. It was too odd. It was too odd for like me and I'm sure a lot of other people to get used to, especially if you were a Halo fan.
I honestly think, though, if it was a first-person shooter,
Well, yeah.
I mean, a lot of the character model designs, that would get rid of that problem. The difference, like, story-wise, like one of the things you said was, it's not, it's a completely different, like, story and whatnot. Like,
Story is so good.
I think the first-person shooter aspect probably would have made this game.
I will say that there are some like story elements that I'm sure like lent itself better to an RTS than a first-person shooter because I'm sure there are some story missions that like you had to do something from an RTS viewpoint that you couldn't do if you were first person. Like if you only controlled one person instead of the entire army.
Actually, what would be really cool?
I'm sure there would be differences.
I think it would be difficult to have done it via like for an first-person shooter. I think it would have been difficult to have tried and gone that route, but I think it could have actually been.
What I was thinking for the first-person shooter, you can have up to 4 squads at a time, like, and
Make it like a squad-based shooter?
In a sense, yeah, like, and assign each squad to the D-pad, so, like, if you had squad 1 was up, and you hit the up button, you will get to choose, like, which member of that squad you'd play as, and they would, like, the other 3 squads will just go and do their things, like...
It might be a bit much to say you get to choose which member of the squad, but I can see what you're saying, like, press up or press whatever button and you switch to this squad member, squad leader or whatever.
Yeah, that'd probably
if
be
there's
better.
4 different characters you could switch between and control different squads while you're doing it.
So if
that it'd be different, but it still fit like the Halo
theme
history and the Halo theme.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing would probably have worked, but again, like that's a really
it's
kind of
like those games where it's like, oh man, it's not like a squad. It's a first-person shooter, but then it's like, oh, you're playing as this person, and then like the point of view switches to another character that's like helping the other character somehow Or
Yeah.
like how in Arkham City, you play as Batman, but you got pinned down by someone, but then your point of view switches to Catwoman, and then you have to go save Batman.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff happens, although not exactly like that. That happens in Call of Duty, but in a way that it's not like in the way that like you're from this person's perspective, then you switch to another person, still in the same area. Like you start in this person like somewhere in Afghanistan fighting like rebels or whatever. Then you switch to a person in America fighting back Russian rebel. Like it's completely not related stories. But then when you get into a game like what you're talking about,
Yeah.
it would still be you're on one battlefield. You're just switching between people on that battlefield.
And maybe like each like squad is doing something different to help push the battle forward.
And that would be cool. But then again, like that would have been like I don't know if Ensemble is a kind of studio that would make like first person shooters.
They made all the Age of Empire games, which
so,
are RTS.
Are they still together?
Oh yeah.
I would imagine.
No.
I can't.
They just made like Age of Empires 3 or
can't
something.
picture why they wouldn't be, unless they just like, because our Age of Empires is like a pretty popular series.
Yeah. I think I fucking have it in there.
He thinks he fucking has it.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
You play. I'm not.
Let me go. Let's
Actually,
Chase go check.
I think it's Total
yeah.
War.
But yeah,
It's Total War. It's medieval Total War.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad game or anything. It was just too weird, and I'm just not a big of an RTS fan. It just didn't gel with me, and I only played
Didn't
like
what?
gel with me. That's a saying.
You're not gelling?
I'm not gelling like a fella.
Eating melon?
I've never heard that before.
It didn't gel.
Didn't
You never heard
gel. No, I've never heard that before.
I think
I'm not saying it's like, oh my god, you're stupid. I'm just like, it's surprising to me. It's kind of like when you say like,
you're full of vinegar.
I'm full of vinegar. Like, I've never heard that, but I like it. I like when it doesn't gel with me. I've heard like it doesn't mesh. Like when you made this, I was thinking you're gonna say mesh, but you're like gel. It doesn't gel with me.
Doesn't gel.
Am I like somewhere else? Is that not a common phrase?
No, not really. I mean, I think I've heard it a few times, but it's not like exactly common
I've
at all.
never heard someone say it. I have never. I am just so uncultured.
All right.
I'm not saying.
No. That's fine.
No, I mean,
It's okay, Brad.
I like you when you speak. I like it when you speak.
Oh my gosh.
So to wrap up the Halo Wars discussion,
story was great. Gameplay, I really like the gameplay, though. To be honest, their gameplay footage that they brought out before the game's release, why didn't they keep that?
What was the?
I honestly, there's no way to describe the differences between them. Like,
look it up, people.
the Halo Wars original gameplay footage, I think it was in E3 that they introduced it, maybe. I honestly don't know. Astounding, beautiful, detailed, gorgeous. Into the game, nothing like it. Absolutely nothing.
I bet
like
I
it.
know why. That's always what E3 does. Did you hear about the Watch Dogs thing?
No.
So they just released they released Watch Dogs a few months ago.
Yeah.
And at E3 it looked like it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And when PC, like consoles are kind of limited to what they can do.
Yeah.
PC got a hold of it and they're like, this looks absolutely nothing like E3.
I'm not even saying like graphics wise.
Hold on. Inside, they were people, they mess around with the games folders. They found the original build from E3, like with the graphics and everything, ran that, completely changed everything.
To look like the E3 presentation?
Yeah, and it made the game look incredible again. For some reason, they just hid the original build inside the game that you can't access it normally.
Wow.
So like they had all like the upscaled textures and models and everything, but
See, the weird thing is I can picture why they would do that for console, but not for PC.
right?
Like for PC, I feel like the
You
default
should have
should be
that.
the thing that they had at E3.
And I think the reason why is because they're the whole next gen console thing. They want to make the next gen systems look like what PC has, so that way people be like, "Oh man, this is as good as a computer. I'll buy console."
Yeah.
And I know that's a weird way to think about it, but I mean, come on. Like,
if you're an average, if you're an average, like, and by say average is kind of like demeaning, but especially like if you're a hardcore gamer, but if you're an average E3 goer who isn't like really into like looking up news or anything, and you just see that, hey, this next gen console this, you know, the graphics look just as good as the one at the computer, and without understanding that the computer is like being hindered that much, you'll just be like, well, that means that console is just as good as PC. I'll get the console version. I'll get the console itself. So I mean, I can imagine why they do that. But still, like, that's the kind of thing that a lot of people who are like into E3 and into gaming would eventually find out.
I mean, and that's the whole reason why, like, I got like a computer is because I can do way better than any console can. And I do not like the fact that I'm being limited to try to match the consoles. Like, that's the whole reason I got a computer like this.
Yeah.
Was that way I can go beyond the limits of what consoles have.
Yeah. And I mean, it sucks, but that's like the industry now. It's like trying to push certain things, and the certain things is consoles. Mm-hmm. Whereas like a lot of people in the know who can get a computer that can put out graphics like that, they would much rather get the computer, but the industry would rather them get the console. Yeah. Because they don't get any computer sales.
I mean, you know what? If I actually thought about this, because Halo, you know, the Halo collection is going back to Halo.
Yeah.
Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then
that's the gameplay footage from E3.
They're looking at a phone. You can't see it. Sorry.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Does that look anything like the actual game?
Yeah.
No. Look at the base setup. The base setup looks completely different. I think there's a ton more detail.
All right.
I mean, it's been a long time since I played it. You can't see it, but I mean, I honestly think it looks just like it.
Can you point out the name of the video? Just so people can watch it.
Halo Wars E3 demo, or E3 gameplay footage.
Yeah. Go check it out, see if it looks anything like what the actual game is.
Because
I only played... I will say I only played like either the demo or like I went to someone else's house and played a little bit of it. I never actually owned the game.
I think
Colton had
it.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
But
I mean...
What I was saying is, if Microsoft decided to put the Halo collection on the computer, I think that would destroy Xbox One sales.
Oh, no doubt.
A lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Because they're not putting it on the 360.
Yeah.
And I'm really sad about that, because that's I would get my 360 out again to play that game, or all of them, especially Halo 2. I'm really surprised they're not putting that on the 360 or having it stand alone by itself.
They're not?
No. It's only going to be in that collection.
That is, oh my god.
Stupid, right?
And that makes me want, like, I want to get the Xbox One, and that just for that, even though I have an Xbox 360 Halo Reach Edition, and every Halo game made for console.
That's why they're doing it. Right there. Right there.
That makes me so mad, because I want to be able to play that, yet I'm getting gypped because
I don't want to buy a fucking new console just to play that one.
Exactly.
Game.
It did get downgraded to only $3.99.
What?
The console.
Oh yeah,
the console.
Well, I mean that comes with no Kinect.
$400. Go get it. I mean,
yeah,
it has
so.
The fact that you can get it without the Kinect is good, but I mean, it's still $400 for
us
a thing.
Devoted Halo fans just got the
$400 that you still like have to go spend to play this collection. That's going to be like the ultimate Halo, and the thing is, it's the ultimate Halo collection until the next two Halo games come out.
That's true.
Like I'd say,
that is so true.
I'd say, and you know, this is just me. Like I'd say, avoid it until they get the final two Halo games out. Yeah. And then, like, just get the Ultimate Halo collection at once.
I mean, that's what they did with, like, Harry Potter and Star Wars. That's what they did with the Game of Thrones books. Like, and stupid people like me will buy it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll fucking buy it. I'll buy a collection that isn't even finished yet. Hell yeah.
I mean, that's me kind of, like,
so logical.
Looking far down the line to the point where not only, like, will the thing be finished, but hopefully by then I can afford it. Cross my fingers.
Right?
But,
and no spoilers, right?
And no spoilers.
God.
Speaking of, like, you know, Bungie and stuff like that, I think I'm going to get a PlayStation 4 in the fall.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have a job at SIUE. Because I got, you know how you got, like, that financial, like, employment thing?
Work study?
Yeah. I got that at SIUE, so nice. I'm going to get that. I think I'm going to get the white PlayStation 4 bundle that comes with Destiny. Yeah.
Can I strangle you?
I mean, I don't even know how much it is, but, like, I think... I always get black systems. I think a white would be really pretty.
they do limit how much money you can get per week or per pay.
1,500 a semester. Is what I can get.
More than what I got. Mine was about 1,000 for the first semester. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Halo Wars, I think that topic's pretty much gone through.
Great story, good enough gameplay. Multiplayer
too weird for most Halo fans.
Agreed.
It was too. It came
and just too weird for console players because RTS is
Oddly
like a
enough,
computer.
Though, it did have
it
a
did
good.
have a good
was
system.
smooth.
It did have a good system, but it was still like
just RTS don't fit with consoles. Really.
I really don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, they did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they did a good
consoles,
job. They did a pretty good job fitting a square peg in a circle hole. I mean, it didn't quite fit, but it almost fit as well as the original, but still not quite right.
Right.
Now, Halo ODST.
Halo ODST.
This is something I kind of wanted to play before we actually did this because it's been so long since I played. I don't remember a lot of the campaign. I just remember feeling disappointed by it.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
Is it just because of the price?
It's because of the price versus what I feel I got. And I will say, we had a little bit of this discussion last time we tried to make this, but the ODST, Halo 3 ODST did come with Halo 3 map packs included into the sales price.
And here, I actually thought about this more. I originally was like, if it came out and I didn't have the maps, that $60 would be great. But how many people that actually were Halo fans did not have all the maps at that time?
How many people wanted both this?
You didn't have all the maps?
None of them.
I actually did.
It's like I had all the fucking Halo. I didn't buy any of the Reach maps.
Yeah.
I freaking bought all as soon as the Halo 3 maps came out. I'd be like, get it. Like,
and I mean, who sees ODST and is a Halo fan and thinks, good, I've not gotten a single map yet.
Yeah.
No one. I had the maps. And I don't spend money on DLC at all.
Like I said last time, I never realized this was called Halo 3
ODST.
I thought it was just called Halo
the whole
ODST.
Feel, honestly, of that game is this should be an expansion or
look, they're even
DLC.
new hero, new campaign, new multiplayer, but they give it the Halo 3 tag.
And after all that, it seems like it would be an add-on. It was supposed to be.
It was. That's exactly it. It was supposed to be an add-on.
Was it actually?
Yeah. Microsoft didn't want Bungie to make that an add-on. Microsoft told them it's going to be a standalone, and so Bungie's like, okay, map packs.
Yeah. So
make it worthwhile.
It makes sense why it would feel like an add-on then because it's supposed to be, but the fact that Microsoft, whatever happened, they made them charge $60 for it. When I did eventually get it at $60, I felt like this shouldn't have been a full $60.
I just thought of something. Can you imagine if this was an add-on and it added Firefight to Halo 3's maps?
Oh,
if this was actually a true expansion and it added the Firefight mode, just normal.
That would be.
And then you could have Firefight make your own Firefight maps in Foundry.
With Forge? Oh my god.
That'd be cool. I was
you could show where the enemy plan where the enemies would spawn and in what way.
I was about to say that sounds cool. At the same time, some of the Firefight maps had to have been designed for Firefight.
Yeah.
So a lot of the Halo 3 maps wouldn't have had the same design, but they're still off the top of my head. Guardian,
Valhalla would have worked.
Valhalla probably wouldn't. It'd be too big.
Too big.
It'd be too big.
Valhalla would have not Valhalla, but Guardian, Hightower. Mm-hmm. What was that? Lockout. Well, that was
what if they changed the maps to all the maps to Firefight specific, they edited?
And that'd be something to do.
That would be a Forge.
A Forge thing, which it would be really cool.
It would have worked so well.
If you cut Valhalla straight in half.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then did the firefights on one side of it or one side or the other, that would be cool. And if they would have done that, if they would have done that,
Blackout would have been good, don't you think?
I did.
Yeah, that was. He was saying Lockout. That was the Halo 2 version.
Oh yeah.
Blackout is
the Halo 3.
It came in a map pack.
Okay. But yeah,
would have been great.
There are definitely maps on Halo 3 that would have fit Firefight, but not all of them. Mm-hmm. But still, that would be a really cool thing.
Just with the Forge.
If this actually was an expansion and just added
Firefight that you could add. Firefight that you could add to maps through Forge. That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, why?
I just thought of that right now. I was like, that would be great.
It would have been because you guys know how popular Forge is with that. They've made their own file sharing system and everything, so people can download community.
I think I spent more time playing just community-made maps than I did actually playing the real maps.
I will say that
included.
I have huge respect for the Forge people who made Forge maps before Reach came out. Because before Reach came out, you had to do the Halo 3 Forge, which didn't let you like intersect things, and it didn't let you set things at specific angles.
Glitch shit in.
You had to glitch things in through like a system that like you had to put where you thought the thing was going to be when it respawned, put it there, and then hope that when it respawned, you lined it up perfectly. Because if you didn't, then you're like, fuck, I gotta restart. And I did try to make my own maps. I like made, I think, one map that by the end of it, I was like, this is actually pretty okay. But then most of the time, Forge, like with you and Colton, you would make maps that are just for one specific game mode that he would make.
Yeah, I remember my favorite one for that was that grenade fight
that was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was super fun. Did I ever tell you about that, Chad?
I think so. It was just like 2 towers with the infinite
It was 2
grenades.
towers that like there was nothing in between, and it was like a wall, like a little bit of a wall in front, so you could kind of crouch behind it. But there was enough room in there so the grenades would bounce back in there, but you still have to move. And the goal of the game is just to lob grenades.
And the cool thing about that is that like another point of the game is that you design your own fort to like build your own defenses about it. And it'd be like, I choose this fort, and you're like, it has good defenses here, 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 but it has a huge weak spot here. But then you have to stand there to get the best throws or whatever. So that, but yeah,
awesome.
those custom made maps. Anyway, back to ODST.
I really liked ODST, to be honest. I like the whole idea that it broke away from Chief's story, because I'm not saying Chief's story is boring because there's so much shit going on, but Chief
is boring.
Chief is boring. God damn it, Chief is boring.
Chief is
like he's like that. I'm cool, or like that. Suave.
They had to, like, I feel like they built the voice actor to voice Master Chief. Like
it wasn't
Cortana. Like I know he's like some radio DJ somewhere, but like I felt like he was engineered in a lab to be this voice.
And I mean,
Cortana.
That's why and that's why I like Reach a lot too, is because it feels I connect more with the characters. Like I know, and that's what Chief was originally supposed to do. You were supposed to feel like Chief, but I more felt like the characters in ODST and Noble 6 and Reach. Like that's
Captain Buck was awesome. Like every time we talk about Halo Reach or ODST, I have to point out Buck was awesome. I fucking loved Buck. He was one of my favorite, like definitely my favorite character from the game, but one of my favorite universe characters in general. Not having read any of the books, I'm sure there are good characters in there, but I love Captain Buck.
Yeah,
he's so cool. What was it? If he had been any better, he'd be a Spartan. Is that the quote that they say about him?
I don't know.
I feel like that might be. I feel like that might be like.
I know that sounds like.
I think I might
Forge from Halo Wars.
I think I know what it might be. Like when you go into, I think it was ODST, and you choose a firefight voice. They have a description for each of the people's voices.
And that's what it is.
I think that might have been Captain Buck's voice. If he'd been any better, he would be a Spartan.
Yeah, that reminds me of John Forge from Halo Wars. His character, like you can see, like in one of the timeline things, him and one of the Spartans get into a fight. They break a bulkhead door, call it a draw, and become friends.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Forge is not a Spartan. He tied with a Spartan in a fight. Just saying.
And see,
that's... ODST, like, I agree with what you're saying. It was a really cool game, and I liked it. I wish it would, like, it just didn't feel like it was enough for the price tag. If it would have been an expanded campaign.
What if you said you said you paid full price for it? Right?
I paid full price.
What if you paid $30 like I did?
Would that
change your mind?
I would have been happy with it. But then again, that would have been one of those things. It wasn't released at that price, so I would have had to wait for it to go down. Which at that point, I would have been like, it's not just the price; it's also the weight.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it it had a good. My favorite part about the actual campaign was the intermission levels.
Yes.
Where you had to go through the city to get from level to level to level.
Because all the hidden things that you can.
The actual levels themselves weren't that fantastic for me. Like they weren't super impressive. The intermission was. And I really liked fighting through a dead city. I love that aspect of it.
With that low light vision on.
With low light vision. Let's go ahead and have that discussion so it doesn't seem like we're just being weird about it.
Okay, what?
The discussion we had the last podcast.
I can't remember.
I liked the low light vision because I think it looked cool and functionality was great.
Right.
And
Well, I agree the functionality, that'd be the reason why I use it, because it is dark. It is a dark city. And
very dark.
You're supposed to use it in areas where you can't see very well. I just didn't like having it on all the time because I didn't think it looked better than actually fighting through the city.
And here's the thing, I agree with Brad totally, because, and I'm gonna bring up like the Batman games, because to do your missions, to find people, do all the side quests, you have to have your fucking bat vision on like all the time to be able to see the enemies, see where the switches lead to. And I remember going through Mr. Freeze's stuff in Arkham City, and like the first time I actually took it off, I was like, holy shit, there's ice everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I missed out, like, on a big chunk of just going into Freeze's, like, building and stuff.
It does,
because I was on that fucking visor.
And it does seem like when you have that kind of, like, vision enhancer on, where you get, like, the outlines and, like most of it is just kind of blackened out, but you get the outlines and you get the important things, like, shown. It seems like it does, like, I can understand why you think it would cool. I just don't personally, because I like the idea of fighting through an actual dark city more than the actual looking at it through the vision.
I mean, it makes sense why they have
it. And it is kind of like a style.
It is a very big functionality thing. I guess we're right now mainly arguing over aesthetics.
Aesthetics, yeah. And it does seem like I can understand why anyone would be a fan of the way it looks like, because it does kind of look like a neon city. Like, everything's surrounded in lights.
The only problem is it's like if they took that much time to actually, make something pretty and, make something really cool, why would they want to, like, harpen,
Harpen? What's the word? Like, I get what you're saying. Like, when I wore it, it felt like
on the low light, using the low light.
When I did, like, have that vision on, I felt like, and this is kind of a quote, but I felt like I was making a bunch of art designers cry. Just because of how much, like, they put into the city textures and the city, like,
and then like it just
aesthetics,
you don't see it,
and then you don't see it when you have the low light vision on.
Yeah. I think that they did a good enough job with the low light vision that you could still see a lot of it. That said, there was things that I missed out on, but that's why I just turned it about off and was like, oh, I see it now.
And I would, like I said, I would use it for like areas where I needed to use it, but then I would prefer to play most of the game without it on, just so I could see. Like, I like the idea of fighting through a city, and that was one of the big things. Like, one of the few things about Call of Duty that I actually like is a lot of the city fighting in that game. I like fighting through, like, buildings that used to be there.
Urban combat.
Like seeing a store. I remember we talked about this. Seeing a store and you look in and there are things inside of it.
Yeah.
And, like, those kinds of details, that's why I like fighting through, like, city urban landscapes. But then when you turn on the light vision, it gets
in there.
It doesn't get rid of it. It just kind of lessens it.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, and I brought this up last time. There's a game that I think had a right balance of it in Deus Ex: Human Revolution, where it'd still be the city. You'd still fight through the cities, but then the important things and, like, things that would be hidden otherwise kind of light up, kind of, like, get outlined as you walk towards them. You still get the, atmosphere of walking through a city, but you get the functionality of the outline.
It's kind of like if they would have, because making your teammates green and the enemies red, great, like, and then really good idea. Like, if they would have just made that, and still kept all the darkness, but, like, the enemies lit up, I think that would have been perfect. But to give it that, like, orangish, like, neon
some
tint.
of the things that I've also noticed with that is that there'll be these markings on walls, and if you turn off your low light vision, they disappear. You will never see them unless you have your low light vision on.
Yeah, I will say though that didn't they do it where, like, if you're shooting at an enemy with low light vision on, like, you can tell how damaged it is by, like, the outline. Doesn't the outline change color depending on how much health it has left? Or was that something else?
Is that a thing?
I don't think it's a thing.
I felt like it might have been a thing.
I don't think it's a thing.
I thought it was. And it would only kind of, like, be relevant if you're fighting an enemy with a lot of health. So, like, most grunts you wouldn't see it, but, like, I felt like that was a thing.
I don't think it's a thing.
I don't know.
It'd be like it start out green, but then you shoot it and it slowly turns red as it gets closer to death.
No, that's not that, because your friendlies are green in the game.
Okay. Well,
so if everything turned up green, you're like, I'm shooting.
That must have been
my
something else.
Hey, look at all these allies. They're shooting me. That must be that's good, right?
But
yeah, because all the enemies have outlines like humans.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway. So yeah, ODST was a good game. I liked it, but
I loved Firefight.
It didn't feel like it was worth.
They didn't put Firefight in Halo 4.
That was sad.
Did they have it in Reach?
Yes,
they did have it in Reach.
See,
that's I love Reach. I love Reach for so many reasons.
Yeah, and like ODST, like you said, it was a fine game. It was good.
It was a really.
I
good
really
game.
liked the intermission levels, and I liked
like
Buck. Buck is cool.
I loved the intermission level just because of all the little things that you could find
And the
Just
way,
kinda
yeah,
hidden
like
away.
the actual, like,
Who is the main character of this story?
that guy,
The recruit.
Did he have a name?
No.
the recruit, Noble Six.
Noble Six. Oh my god, Noble Six
No.
never died and lived for like 100 years.
Nope, it was that guy.
I don't
Wasn't
fucking
100
know.
years.
From Reach to this?
Yeah.
50, 60, 70, 80, 90.
I don't know. When did
12.
fucking-
No.
Something. It was years.
It's an amount of years.
It was an amount of years, but
It's an
now
amount of time.
it was like a cool game, but like the campaign felt too short and like not. It didn't feel substantial enough for the full price tag. Firefight was cool. The campaign was cool.
I liked all the
But
little
it-
audio files that you could find.
What?
Because they all led
This
to...
took place the same year
Hmm?
as the fall of Reach.
What?
The year is 2552. Reach takes place in 2552. This dude is Noble Six.
There's no way.
Reach takes place in the futuristic science fiction setting. The year is 2552, shortly before the events of Halo Combat Evolved.
And
No,
that's
2552 is shortly before the first Halo game. That is slightly into the second Halo game.
Slightly into the third.
then this year
Halo
is
game.
wrong because it says the year is 2552.
Did they really go 3 full...
Yeah.
No, that's right. This is just into the second game.
Yeah, because it was when the
That's
big
right.
ship jumped space.
How
So
much
was it
time
only
did Chief?
Was it not even a year? Because between when Reach happened and the Halo game, the main Halo games, all the Spartans had to die.
Yeah. Goddamn, yeah.
No, it was during Reach that the Spartans were dying, wasn't it?
I
The
thought it was
fall-
like
no, that's
when it started, wasn't it?
In the books, they sent. Well, not all the Spartans died. At the end of the books, a lot of Spartans went off to different sectors, so there could be more Spartans that are still alive. Anyway, that doesn't. What I'm saying is, a lot. They
lot
all
must have
died
happened.
on Reach. A lot of them died on Reach.
A lot must have happened in the year 2552.
Because that was like their final defense.
I will
before
say,
Earth.
I will say, like when I think of Halo, like the main year, I think everything's setting in is 2552.
Yeah,
But still, though,
I didn't
like,
know it was that
the year
fucking
short-
quick.
Tell me
But
about
still,
it.
though,
I didn't
I thought it was
realize
few, like, they built up their defenses in a few years and then they hit back at the Covenant. But
I thought it would have been
I
at
think
least a
honestly,
year.
what I'm
Yeah.
thinking is that
I'm
the
open
game,
my blinds, 'cause it's
either
pretty
one of these two is wrong. Either the back of the box is wrong, or that Google.
No, but see,
Pop-up is
there's
wrong.
dude, there's more. Look, this is on Wikipedia. 2552. This is the Halo Wikia. 2552. 2552. Everyone
No.
is
I'm
saying
saying I can't.
2552.
I don't think that because what that says is 2552 is shortly before Halo 1, and I think
Reach takes place
in
a futuristic-
2552.
The
Reach
years-
takes place in 2552. Halo 1 does not. This happens after Halo 1. I think they might have gotten the back. Either they got the back of this wrong,
You know what? Either I gotta think that it
or
was,
everything happened in a year.
Yeah, it like a lot happened in a year apparently.
But it still says on the Google pop out that Halo 1 was after 2552.
Yeah, hold on, I'm looking.
So either the Google pop out is wrong or the back of this is wrong.
we have found something very intriguing.
Huh.
And if the Google pop out came from the Halo wiki.
trying to-
Looking up the Halo wiki.
Yes,
for-
that's what we're doing. So it's not that we're not talking right now; it's that we're trying to figure out
We're looking
this
up.
little.
Would it
mystery
not
that
be
we
under
found.
summary?
Early conflicts.
Would it not be under summary?
First contact
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Covenant 2552.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Follow Reach happened
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
2552.
Arrival at Halo.
Yeah,
Installation
John
was
117, bro.
But
That-
what year is that? Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh my god, it doesn't fucking say. It doesn't fucking say! Game! Thing,
I
no!
don't, try clicking up at the actual installation 04. Down. Like the
Yeah.
installation. Maybe it'll say like when they landed. History. Ancient history. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. We're looking up things.
2552 AD.
Okay.
Okay, but destruction. The
Pillar Autumn around
2552.
So yeah, the
It
events
happened all within a year.
Holy god.
Damn.
Gee.
Earth got fucked.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it makes sense though. Why would the Covenant just stop for a few years?
No, I was thinking like the death of the Spartans was like a gradual thing.
Oh no, it was just
I-
wreck.
No, I thought it was like
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
Well,
wouldn't say
Reach
that they
isn't Earth.
stopped. But
Reach
I would've-
isn't Earth.
No, I mean like the Earth forces.
Oh yeah.
I would
Yeah,
forget
Earth
that the
versus
Earth
Cap-
was been able to just like hold them off for a little bit.
Oh god, no, fuck.
Goodness.
I mean, I guess that is kind of realistic. It's like Earth wasn't preparing for total alien, like...
Annihilation.
I mean, they were there
Yeah.
to put down a couple rebels.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the alien equivalent of like Hitler came on and just rolled through Poland. Dude,
God damn. I can't believe that.
That's pretty
I for
intense.
real can't believe that.
revelations on Unauthorized Access PodCouch.
That's fucking crazy.
Halo happened all in a year.
Where are we right now? Like on our discussion. Are we still on...
We're on
Reach.
ODST.
Wait,
We never finished
never finished
ODST.
That's right. We
Because
are on
I was
ODST.
talking about like the year that this happened.
Okay, so back to ODST.
I think we can kind of wrap it up in that.
Yeah.
The game was good. It was a good game.
It was.
Holy
It was
fuck,
it was just
that really
too-
happens
It was,
fast.
it was just really too short for me and just felt like an add-on in most of the ways. Like it added
Well,
a new game
it was-
type. It added a campaign that didn't seem that long, and that was
Now
about
I'm
it.
kind of curious.
But to be fair, I mean, it was supposed to be an add-on. I paid full price for it, but that was
Chief
because
is
of
in that
Microsoft.
cryostasis for 5 years. Because 4 takes place at 2557.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah. I wanted to. I
I
wanted to see
wonder how
when
many
that took
years
place.
happened between the Halo games, like from Halo 1 to Halo 3. Was that all 1 year?
Yeah.
When is when Halo 3 ends?
When does
When is that?
Halo 3?
wait. When
Actually, it might have been because
2557.
Halo
Is
2.
that what you said?
2557.
Because I will say Halo 2. Whenever Halo 2 ends, Halo 3 starts.
All
right
3
after
games.
that.
This is on Bungie's thing. All 3 games in the trilogy take place in 2552.
God damn, that's a
Wow.
lot of stuff. To
The
have in
memorial service
Can
and the
you-
final cutscene is March 2553.
Can you fucking imagine an entire war?
2553.
Almost an
Yeah.
entire war began and ended in a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I know the Covenant War kind of like was kind of there before Reach fell,
Right.
like because they knew of the Covenant before that.
Harvest was his first contact. That was Halo Wars. That's what Halo
But
was. his
still,
first
like
contact.
that's like the fact that it escalated, peaked, and ended in the span of a year.
Because weren't the Spartans originally created to stop a rebellion?
It was-
Wasn't for the Covenant.
It wasn't exactly discussed why Halsey did it.
You
but
read her journal, right?
No, not
didn't read?
Not all of it.
Yeah,
but
dude.
Yeah,
That she taught. That's the reason why they made the Spartans was
Yeah.
to stop a rebellion.
Yep.
Seems like overkill.
That, in the
Little
cutscene,
bit, yeah.
in the cutscene before Halo 4 starts, you actually see her being interrogated. It's like, why did you create the Spartans?
Yeah.
Just for the rebellion.
Mm.
That's
And
been an intense rebellion.
I mean, like,
it's almost like now that I think about it, that's almost like he's asking her, "Did you know that the Covenant was coming beforehand?"
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. In her journal, there are a bunch of pictures that she circled, and it's like, what is that? And she talks about like, yeah.
She knew.
You should, yeah.
So she totally knew that the Covenant was coming, and that's why she made the
Do you,
Spartans.
do you want me to
Honest,
get? Do you
that'd
want me
be-
to get that journal,
That'd
Brad?
make more sense.
On a side note, did anyone know that Sergeant Johnson was a
Here, I'll get it out.
Spartan 1?
Just for shits and gigs.
Yeah,
Was he?
yeah.
How come he didn't wear no suit?
Because
Oh, I almost said bad word. Almost said bad word.
How come didn't go
Spartan
suit?
2s were the only ones that had suits. Spartan 1s, a lot of them failed due to
Dicks.
health reasons and things like that. They couldn't do it. Sergeant Johnson was the only, like, one of the very few to survive and like become as good as he is. He was I don't want to say a failed Spartan 1, but he was a Spartan 1.
I want to see a fight between Sergeant Johnson and. Oh hey.
It's an actual journal, Brad.
It looks really
Oh.
Ah.
It's for a real actual journal. It's supposed to be Halsey's journal.
But no.
I really wish that they actually had things like books like that.
Yeah, that's
The way
what
how it opens up and everything, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
we're taking a look at Halsey's journal from Halo Reach.
The
Legendary edition, yeah.
Legendary. No. I would like to see a fight between Sergeant Johnson and Buck.
Okay, before we start bending shit, like
No,
you do
I'm-
magazines,
No, I mean, this is pretty cool.
Dude,
and there's a bunch of like
Sergeant-
pictures and stuff in the back.
Sergeant Johnson versus Sergeant Forge
Versus Sergeant Buck.
versus
Three-way badass.
three-way battle. Yes.
Alright, so summarize ODST. Wish it would have been more. If it would have been like longer, or maybe added like a third game type, maybe. like something up, like some. It felt like I was getting just two different things with it. So I mean, it didn't feel like a fully fleshed out game, even though it wasn't supposed to be. So I kind of felt gypped.
Are you
But
gonna look through
if it would have come out like
Below
$30,
the-
$30 or $40, I would have been happy with it. But that extra 20, $30, it didn't feel like a full
like
game.
if for some reason just Halo 3's map packs didn't sell for some
yeah.
reason,
Because
like,
what if some people were like, you know what? I'll just wait till all the maps are out. Like who else? Who didn't have the maps by the time? Who didn't have at least some of the maps? By
and
the
it's
time
like there were wasn't in Halo 3 there were like game types that you could only play if you had certain maps.
No. Anyway,
Dude, you made joke in Halo Legends. There's the female Spartan that what?
sorry. Did you say you may joke or did you say you made
I
joke?
said you may joke and
Okay.
laugh, but that's an actual thing.
No, I'm not laughing at the suit. I'm laughing at the no work before coffee.
Oh, okay. I was like in Halo Legends, like one of the main character
has suit like yeah,
like a
those-
fucking Gundam suit.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Halo Legends was pretty cool. Yeah.
So Halo Reach then, right?
Halo Reach.
Halo Reach is my favorite of the Halo games.
It is close between second and third of my favorite. Like, I'm kind of tossing it up between whether I like Halo Reach better or Halo 2 better. Halo 2 might be a bit more nostalgic for me, but Halo Reach as like quality of a game,
Yeah.
it might be a little bit more. But I don't know, it didn't impact me as much as like any of the, well, not any of it. It didn't impact me as much as like Halo 2 or 3 did. And this was like the discussion that we were having as the last one shut off. So
Thanks, Electric Storm.
Thanks,
I
Car.
forget. I thought it was a thunderstorm since we had one last night, but no,
No.
it's just a transformer exploding.
So Halo Reach.
By having a car.
Man, I wonder how they fixed that so fast.
I don't know. I was surprised about that too.
Magic.
By the time I woke up, it was like
It was on. Or
I woke up at like 5:30 and like everything was on.
it was
and I
4
don't know because the
o'clock.
clock was on.
My mom came in at 4. I opened my window that night because it was super hot in the house.
Definitely.
You want to look at this?
No. It was super hot in the house, and I was just like, oh my god, I gotta open my window. I was like, Mom, can I open my window? She's like, no. The power's gonna kick back on, the air's gonna run. I was like, okay, I won't do it. But I did it anyway because I was real hot.
Yeah.
So then I had my door open. At 4 o'clock, I hear like my mom just like hit me, and she's like, wake up. I'm like, what? Well, she's like, power's back on. I told you not to open those windows. I'm like, oh, okay. And I looked and it was like 4:20.
Yeah, no.
4:20.
Good boy. But I woke up at about 5, and I only knew because when my dog needed to go out, and when I looked at the clock was on. It didn't click that, hey, the clock is on, but I was like, it's 5:30. And then I let him out, went back to sleep, woke up, and I was like, oh shit, the power's on. The power's been on this whole time. I could have turned on my fan. Anyway, Halo Reach.
Speaking of that, or before we get into this, I've forgot how hard it is to not to sleep without a fan on.
Yep.
Like I need that noise.
I couldn't
need
sleep.
the noise of a fan.
Like
to
I got
sleep.
home at about 12:30. I couldn't sleep until about 2:30 because of how like it just felt too weird to be like.
And it was it's just like
Silent.
dead silence. That's creepy.
I slept
Like
honestly.
you're raped or something.
Honestly, I didn't sleep.
What?
I didn't sleep
I like
until
it.
like I listened to like music or podcasts for a while until like it was to the point where I was like, if I don't sleep, I'll die. So like,
Yeah, you had work that morning.
I had
didn't
work
you?
that morning. So no, it was pretty bad. But anyway, Reach.
You sounded like SpongeBob when he was without water.
If I don't have water,
I don't need it.
But
I don't need it.
I don't know where to start with Reach because
The beginning is usually a good way to
campaign. We'll start with campaign.
All right.
campaign. Cause see, that was the discussion I probably have the most to say about.
Good.
The
Start.
Halo Reach campaign. I will say I might have mentioned this not in our last pod, not in the one that didn't work, but in our part 1 of the Halo PodCouch. I might have mentioned how I like the Halo 3 campaign the best, but because they had more maps that I remember more. Like the Halo 3 campaign levels, I could jump into any of them and play through all the way and enjoy it. I didn't feel there were that many Reach maps that there weren't really any Reach maps that I enjoyed as much as I enjoyed most of the Halo 3 maps or levels. It just did nothing, and it might have been because it was on Reach, and Reach is not nearly as interesting looking as Halo, because the actual Halo constellation, the Arc, all those, they're like really vibrantly colored and like lots of greens and blues and like interesting landscapes, like mountains that just pop up like
out of nowhere.
And pop up like 5,000 feet up in the air when like you're standing at the summit of it, you're standing at the base of it, and you look at the summit, it's a straight wall.
Yeah.
And like it seems more like an alien planet, but it has Earth-like characteristics. Reach looked like
Earth.
A brown Earth.
Yeah.
It looked like Earth.
It looked like Earth with like more browns and grays and really muddy greens than any of the like vibrant colors that existed on Halo.
I know you say it like you like to, we have different playing styles when it comes to first-person shooters. Like normally, I can play campaign once, like in a Halo game, and then do it on legendary difficulty.
Yeah.
Like
once for the story and then once for the challenge.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly how I do it.
I can't imagine just going back into the story and just doing a single level and just playing that level.
Yeah.
Like for me, I gotta have like the whole like just a continuous thing.
Nope.
But that's just how I play.
If there's
Halo
a level
games.
that's good enough, I will just go back and replay that level.
That's the thing. That's the thing. There are a lot of campaigns that have those maps for me where I play it once. I'm like, I play it once through for the story. And honestly, a lot of times with Halo games, the story doesn't stick to me because there are a lot of names, and a lot of like new things that you learn throughout. And I'm just like, okay, just go. But then when I play through the challenge, then I gotta play it through again. But then later down the line, I'm like, what was a cool level? The Ark. I'm gonna go play through the Ark. Or what was a cool level?
The Covenant.
The Covenant. That was a cool mission. I'm gonna play that again. For Reach, really the only map that I was like, the only level I was like, yeah, I can go play through that again was the one in the city, the one where you have to evacuate all the people. That was a cool level. That was probably my favorite level.
Horribly on legendary difficulty.
That was probably my favorite level. Wasn't that the only one with brutes on it, or like the one where they started showing up?
I think.
Because I know they were in.
Isn't Reach supposed to be like the hardest on legendary by yourself?
I don't know.
I know it was. I know it was before Halo 4 came out.
I was about to say,
like they made it hard on legendary.
If it was, I wouldn't disagree with that because fuck that last level.
I mean, you get an achievement called the Monument to All Your Sins,
and I love how when you get that, you get it for all the ones below it. Where it's get beat it on legendary by yourself. You also get beat it on legendary co-op, like you by yourself or co-op, and beat heroic
and normal and story for whatever
it cascades down.
I love that because there's so many games that he's like, yeah, I beat it on the hardest difficulty, one achievement,
and I love seeing that message. Just like you got 5 achievements for 500 achievement points.
You're like
yes,
virtual points.
It was worth the pain. But no, like Halo Reach, this was the discussion we were in the middle of having. The campaign for Reach seemed a lot more like focused on like the people, whereas the Halo trilogy before that was focused more on like the scope of events that was happening, like the events around you happening more than just like the people.
And I mean,
and Reach switched it around.
The reason why I think they did that is because you knew that Reach was done.
Yeah,
like you knew it was gone.
The book
so
was already out for some time.
Yeah,
and you knew Reach was done. So instead of focusing on like how Reach died, I mean, you're just gonna get wrecked. You focus on like the actual stories that happen. Yeah.
Since the event was already done and seen,
you're not wondering what's gonna happen in the end. You're just gonna like you just focused on the journey there.
Yeah,
you're focused on each person's reaction to it.
And it's weird. And I knew what was going to happen at the end, but I still wanted Noble 6 to make it out. Like, I still had hope.
I will say that his
last thing.
Closing
Lone
Wolf is really cool. I love that mission. I love just fighting until you die.
Do you know that there's all the hidden things in there?
No.
There's about 8 hidden things that you can find and read. They have stuff in them that you can read hidden in.
I will say every time I played that through, I felt like I felt like I was a letdown because I did not survive nearly as long as because I'd be like I'm Lone Wolf, I'm Noble 6, I've survived longer than any of my brothers. I gotta go and fuck. God, wait, hold on, fuck. Is there bazooka? There's a rocket launcher. Get the hell, fuck. I did not last nearly as long as I was hoping. Having beaten legendary through, even on normal, I'd be like dead. Really fucking soon.
Yep.
Just the
legendary. I literally didn't even try.
The dramatic irony in that game is just so strong.
Yeah.
I freaking love it. I freaking love it.
My opinion is that I appreciate the fact that they went for the more personal because it was the right thing to do, seeing that they already had a trilogy focused entirely on like the big scope of events, the big like space.
Yeah, just moving.
It focused more like on like a space opera, like a space epic, where like it's a giant battle in space. You got to focus on that. The people, people are there. They help you through, and some of them are really memorable, like Sergeant Johnson or Cortana or those. But the actual events is what's making you interested. The events you already know. You're not suspenseful about that. You're suspenseful about who the people were that went through it.
Favorite person on Noble Team? Go.
Cat. We'll get into that later.
That's a good question. Like, I'm looking at the Noble Team statue right now, trying to
If you say Noble 6, I'll punch you.
Excluding Noble 6.
Noble 6.
What? Wait, what the hell was that?
I don't know.
Anyway, Cat definitely for me.
I like the fact I like the arm thing.
Yeah.
That was really cool. When I first saw that, I was like, oh, neat. Actually, when I first saw it on the statue.
That was in the trailer, like the original, the announcement trailer of her arm, like, stopping him.
Yeah, he is walking into the building and she's just like, whoa.
I will say, I missed that the first time through. Like, I missed the fact that the arm was a robot. I thought it was just, like
she's really tiny as Barton.
I was just focusing on, like, someone's blocking him. Oh, it's a woman. Ah. But anyway.
I'm still thinking.
Not saying that there's anything wrong with women's Spartan, but I think that might have been the first time I saw one.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Even before, was that before Halo Legends?
Yes.
If it was, okay.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I was about to say, if it wasn't, then this was still the first time I saw one. Because I didn't see Legends all
the person that I remember the most is George, obviously.
Yeah.
Because George is a badass.
But Emil, probably.
Emil?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a reason why?
Nope.
Just because?
Like Emil, yeah.
What's your reasoning why you like Cat?
Cat is probably the most interesting of them. And that's part of the discussion that I'll go into in a minute. But first, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
I'm kind of split between Emil and George. June is there as well, but he's just
fucking June. I hate June.
He's not that. He's
that
kind of
one
cool,
sniper mission, and then it's like,
I mean, the sniper mission.
And
he's the only
one that leaves Reach alive.
He lives, as far as we know. Like he doesn't.
He dies later on.
He dies later on, but
he
not
leaves.
in the game.
That's
he's
right.
the only one to leave Reach
yeah.
alive. So to him. Emil just raw badassery and killing 3 elite generals or zealots or whatever they are in that final mission. Rock on, but he's kind of a dick the entire time.
Yeah, he is a dick.
So I'm gonna have to say George. George is my favorite.
Yeah. The whole thing about the Halo Reach campaign for me is that it's and this is kind of like the writer in me or like the English major in me looking too much into it, but the whole most of the story is too cliched to be taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I would have cliches are fine, but only if you do interesting things with them and have interesting characters.
Did you have time? Last time I asked Brad what he would do differently. Did you think of anything different to do, with their story?
Oh,
to get rid of those cliches.
Shit, no, I didn't. But I will say the main thing that I brought up last time was how George died.
Yeah.
I will say that. I mean, in all fairness, they did do something that was at least a little bit different in how they killed him off. In that he picked you up and threw you out, and you had to,
physically couldn't do anything to stop him.
You watched it explode, and as you were falling, that was a cool twist to it. But still,
there was no talking about it like a lot of other things.
Seeing his face,
yeah, and that's part of it being a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, it does make sense and it does do a good job. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the way he died is still super one of the biggest cliches in any in a lot of those kind of military or movie dramas, that kind of thing, where we have some kind of explosive that we have a trigger for, but the trigger broke, so someone has to set it off manually, but they'll be there and they'll die when it explodes. And that when you do that, you have to do something super unique and super interesting with it. You have to have either a character that you have to have either the main character do it, whatever it is, you have to do something interesting.
Do you guys remember the order that people died?
Let's see.
George
was the first.
George, Cat, Emil. No, George, Cat, Carter, Emil.
Okay.
Yep.
Because Emil made it to the end.
Emil was the last one to die.
Yep, that's
And
right.
Before
June left.
Yeah. Before 6. And then 6 and then June. But when you have, like, all these characters...
I wasn't able to do that right off the top of my head.
When you have all these characters, and when you turn the story, like, more towards personal, you have to have super interesting characters to do that with. And I didn't think any of the characters were, like, as interesting as, like, a lot of the characters in, like, you know, a lot of TV shows or a lot of games I play. But the most interesting character of the bunch was probably Cat. And Cat died in the most interesting way, too. And the fact that, you know, it was still kind of cliched in that, like, it was like, you know, they just got through the battle, they thought they were safe, but then suddenly something happens and one of them dies. But the way they did it actually was a cool little twist on it in that they thought they were safe, they were run through, and then a sniper bullet from literally nowhere and literally no one.
I remember talking about that.
No one. Like,
it
wasn't like
that was driving by with a sniper.
It was like a jackal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just some jackal
like,
with
what
a
the fuck we playing on? Legendary? Goddamn.
Yeah,
Shouldn't just some random.
It wasn't like
die in one hit.
It's not
what
like
the
you
fuck
look
is
up.
that?
It's not like you look up and see the main villain of the whole game and like it's Tartarus or whatever from Halo 2, and he was like Tartarus as he drives
He's
away.
alive again.
And it's nothing like that. It's just nameless, faceless Covenant soldier. Nameless, faceless Covenant soldier suddenly kills one of the main characters and then flies away. And you
never to be seen again.
And the focus is on like everything goes quiet, and they kind of like drag her body away, try to save her, but then it cuts away, and you know that she doesn't make it. That's the kind of thing that like they take a cliched idea, but then do something interesting with it. And her character, even before that, was probably the most interesting of the bunch. If they would have made all the characters like her,
how was she interesting? I know that's a weird question, but
because like she was the only female, and like I said, the first female Spartan that I had seen at least. The mechanical arm that made you wonder like what the hell happened to her arm, and like the like way that made her more cold and steely than most of the other characters. Like she was honestly, she might have been like the coldest of them as far as like she like.
I don't know. I think
I'd give that award to Emil.
Yeah, I'd say Emil won that one. She wasn't that cold, but she was very.
She's sarcastic.
Practical.
Emil's sarcastic, like in that sarcastic kind of smart ass kind of way. The Cat's more like just emotionless and like what you said, practical about it. Like she's really, I have a word for it, but I can't think of it. But she's like the most, and I feel like that's coming from how her arm got chopped off, and I'm wondering about that throughout the whole campaign, and they don't address it, which makes me wonder more about her.
You know, and I think.
And you know, I'm not saying cut off all their arms, and I'm just saying like she had a character trait about her.
This will make you more interesting.
What I'm saying, I get what you're saying. I'm starting to understand what you mean by you wish they would have made the cliches a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I also think that they kind of had, like, they capped themselves. Like, the way stuff happened, they put kind of a limit on it with, like, doing the ending first and then... Do you know what I mean? Like, you already know the ending to a story, so you have to kind of fill in the blanks without...
The ending that you know is just that everyone died. You can fill in the blanks in much more interesting ways than they did. Like they killed most of the people off. Noble Six and Cat had cool endings. The other guys had I have to sacrifice myself for the group right now.
So I'm just being swarmed and I have to try and fight my way out. That's Emil. Because he had like 3 elites.
But I mean, I think that's part of the situation. Like those are really the only 2 options that they could, because the Covenant force was just so
or you're a cat and you get shot when nothing's happening.
Well, I mean, they couldn't do that for everybody.
No, but they could do things like that. They could do more than just, I'm sacrificing myself for the group right now.
But I don't know what else they could do, though.
That's part of, like, writing. That's part of writing. You got to do more interesting than just going back to the sacrifice for the group. And, you know, off the top of my head...
I don't know if that was exactly them or the writer of the book.
Was their book?
This is
all like all this stuff is like.
So I mean,
okay, but that doesn't change the point of that. It's not interesting writing. It doesn't change that it's not.
It just changes who gets blamed.
Who gets blamed and where the source of this like, and you know, if it was from a book, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it is.
Then maybe the characters were more interesting in the book, but they had to compress it for the game. Like they couldn't give as much to each
I haven't
character.
actually read the book.
I haven't read the book with them in it.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, there was.
I mean, the first book, I've got it over there.
The Fall of Reach.
Yeah, but that's from Chief's point. That's from
So
John's point.
is there a book that contains all these characters?
I'm not sure.
I
And how
don't
they
know. I thought there was.
If there is, I mean, then whoever wrote that, we'd have to see what it is, how the characters written in that book compared to how they were in the game.
Nah, it's Fall.
Oh, looks like it is just the Fall of Reach.
Just Chief.
Yeah.
And I mean, still, like,
Yeah, that's John's point of view.
no matter who wrote it, the writing is still like, it's not as interesting as it could have been. And if they're honestly, not a lot of the characters in Halo, the series, like the Halo trilogy, were that interesting either. They were memorable, definitely. Like Sergeant Johnson was memorable as hell.
Did you know that he's also immune to the blood parasite?
Yes, that one I did know.
How come? Is that ever explained?
Disease. The way Ricky actually was talking to me about this. The radiation from plasma grenades gave him. It was either a disease or some form of cancer. He threw so many plasma grenades that he got cancer from them and got the disease.
Wait, the disease?
The disease that made
from the disease or the cancer or whatever it is that made him immune to the flood. Just because he activated and threw that many plasma grenades.
Damn.
Sergeant Johnson is a badass.
Yeah, I mean,
off the record, if you can do this, if you have time.
This is on record.
I meant like we won't talk about it again on here. I want you to come up with more creative ways for them to die.
I can try that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's something that
I for real think it'd be nice. You're a good writer. Like I kind of just want to see.
Oh, thanks. But no, I mean, it's something that, I mean, like I said, the Halo series, the Halo
really?
1 through 3 series, like its characters probably aren't much more interesting, but they don't.
I mean, to be honest,
they're not the focus.
I wish they would go give Chief some character traits or some fucking.
They're
something.
trying that with 4. They're
He's
trying that with the 4. They're trying that with the number 4 through whatever. They're trying to give him more.
Always gets the job
they're
done.
Honestly, they're trying to give him more character by giving Cortana more character.
I think in 5 it's going to be heavy, like.
I think they gave Cortana a lot of character in 4.
Oh
yeah,
fuck yeah,
definitely.
they did.
And that's what I'm saying. They're trying to give Chief
that topic.
They're trying to give Chief more of a character through her character evolving. But honestly,
see, now she's gone.
Now,
Question marks. Yeah, spoilers.
But the thing is, like, his character before that, we still knew he was like kind of in love with Cortana. Mm-hmm. Like, it didn't change his character. Like, it didn't change as much. It just kind of
like, even in 3 when he rescued her.
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like they try to expand on him more by expanding other people, but at this point, is Master Chief too dull to be expanded on?
Now wait a minute, hold the fuck on.
Yes.
Reach happened in 2552.
Yes.
When was Cortana made?
Supposedly, like 2552. Supposedly, because that's when
don't they last 7 years?
They're supposed to be 8.
And if that's the case, then
she's 5.
Yeah,
if she was made on Reach in 2552, but I don't think she was.
I think
there's
because she's before Master Chief. She's the thing that you're carrying all the way through.
Yeah,
Reach.
she's the one.
She exists well before Reach happens.
I think she was made on Reach prior to the happenings of the game.
God damn it! It's in Halsey's journal.
No, what I remember, and this might be wrong, is that our AIs aren't supposed to last 7 years, and she lasted 8.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her unique way of being made.
I'm just saying, like, if she was made in 2552...
She was only 5 years old.
She was only 5 years old.
But I'm saying that must mean she wasn't made in 2552.
Yeah, she was made before
2549?
I mean, but that's... I'm gonna look that up.
I'm gonna say that she was made prior to, because in one of the actual Halo Reach missions, you can find Halsey's lab with a bunch of her stuff in there.
Yeah.
I mean, talking, I'll look for it.
No, it's just that if she's
We're
8,
all looking.
I feel like that's too big of a, like...
2549.
Yeah. So, like, it would be too big of an oversight if they were like, yeah, she's 8 years old. Oh, wait, she's actually 5.
Yeah.
Don't look. Hold on, internet, please don't actually look up the history behind this.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I just realized that. I was like, wait. he got her in 2552, and I was.
By the way, have you guys seen the evolution of Cortana's look?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I will say that I kind of went through my opinions on the Reach campaign. What are your guys like? What like?
I mean, I was kind of combating what you said with mine. Like, I like the fact that it was more personal with each character, and I like every single character more than I like Chief.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's
hell. I mean, Noble Six.
Even fucking Noble Six doesn't say a goddamn word, and I like him more.
Noble Six talked a couple times.
No,
he has a voice.
No.
Yes. He's the firefighter voice. He's the firefighter voice. There are a couple times where it's like, yes, sir. Oh,
but I mean, like, that's the fuck it. Like,
super generic stuff.
It's talking, though.
It is talking. But I mean, like...
Point Bread. Right.
Screw you.
But I mean, like, it's...
He's not a silent narrator. He says a couple things. But anyway, no, like, even him, like, the way he died, honestly, makes him more interesting than Chief. Yeah. Because his death is one of the more, like, again, one of the more interesting aspects of the game. Like, final mission thing.
So sweet.
Like,
I did not expect that.
Between like
I really fucking did.
Between like interesting, like most interesting things for me were Kat and her death and Noble Chief's death. Noble Chief. Noble Six's death.
I'll tell you what. When I was playing Reach, and like after I beat that mission, got the bomb, did all that stuff. I was like, I beat it. Fucking finally, I did it. Because and then it was like, the mission was just like survive, and I'm like,
yeah,
it was like. My face just went from like happiness to like pure terror because I was like, it's not over. like it was really like super just quiet in my room when I played it. I mean, it was just
survive.
But I mean, I was just like,
I really like how they did it where like instead of your health going down, your visor broke. Your visor continually broke until the point where
I didn't know it was like an unwinnable thing. I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna have to redo all this over again.
One of the things I didn't realize until after I beat it, that helmet in the opening cutscene is sixes.
I never saw the...
That's how that got there.
It's a weird thing that I consistently didn't see, even though I played the game and I saw the trailer for it. I never saw his helmet. Like, I didn't see his helmet until like I watched someone play it and they pointed out the helmet and I was like, what? What helmet? And they're like, dude, the helmet.
Yeah, I think when they showed that in the beginning, I was like, that's got to be important. And so just like like when 6 died, it instantly just kind of clicked. I was just like, that's 6.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that game. I like I said, I know I don't go back and play Halo games again. I might go back and fucking play Reach.
Dude,
I still need to beat it on Legendary by myself.
I have Reach. I would go back and play ODST if I could. Just to see how how what I remember of the game matches up to what it actually is. Like maybe I might be remembering it unfairly because it
has been a long time.
At the time, I thought of it as this doesn't feel like a full enough game for me what I bought. But then again, playing through it now, my taste might have changed. I don't know. But no, Reach multiplayer.
I liked the addition of the loadouts.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That made it feel a lot more like Call of Duty in my mind.
I don't think so. Because you don't get to customize those loadouts. Like they were pre-given loadouts.
I think it was like it was a more Call of Duty feature. More Call of Duty like feature. But I mean, it didn't let you choose what weapons you got for what. You got to choose what weapons you started with, but you had to also choose that setup. Like there are a lot of times when I'm playing like some kind of Slayer where you start off with multiple different things. Where like I want to start with the DMR, but I don't want to. I want to have this power up, but I can't. That power up starts up with the assault rifle, so you have to make that decision.
Yeah.
And I like how you can make that decision over and over again every time you die because I'm super indecisive about that kind of thing. I'm like, well, the DMR didn't work. Let's try the lock on with the...
Oh my gosh, I hate armor
lock. I loved
armor
lock for the fact that you can stop those fucking ghosts that would try to ram you.
That would be why I would use it. I would use it the same way I use plasma pistols. I only use it to destroy vehicles.
One qualm with armor lock, and that is, I don't care how fancy your armor is. If you're getting, if there's a wraith coming up and it does its speed boost,
fuck you.
No.
That's how you get rid of wraiths.
No.
That's why you do it.
I don't like it because that just doesn't make sense.
You're projecting your shield off of your body on like a physical thing.
There should be no way that it's that powerful.
Yes. Because that's balancing the game.
I'm not saying balancing. I'm talking physically. That shouldn't be that strong.
Get over it.
No.
Dude, that's how they have to do it.
The wraiths don't go that fast. Like
if the wraiths went as fast and continuously as fast,
that's
a small poopy little boost of momentum.
But that's a whole lot of force.
That's a poopy little boost.
If it's a lot of force.
If it's a small force, but if it's a small mass, but it goes really fast, it could be the same force as a big mass going slow.
And it is like a little like. Oof.
You totally know that.
If it went to speed.
But still.
That's a lot of mass, and it does go kind of fast on that little boost. It's a lot.
Not compared to like a ghost.
If you have a ghost going full boost,
you're flying.
If you had a wraith going that speed, that'd be suspicious. But then again, you gotta suspend your disbelief a little bit. You gotta accept like, hey, I get whatever my qualms with this exists for balance. Because if you couldn't destroy a wraith by armor locking. That'd be fucking stupid. That's one of the strategies to handling wraiths.
I understand and I get that. It's just it's so annoying.
It's not really.
For me, it is. The second qualm I have with that is
sticky. Is it sticky grenades?
Yes.
That I can kind of agree with. I can agree because it's annoying, but at the same time, I understand it's another balance.
If I throw a sticky grenade and I hit you, armor lock should not just repel that son of a bitch. It should.
I think it makes sense because it's taking your shield, it's
outwards.
Projecting it off your body, so it's from the shield, goes underneath the grenade and pushes it out.
I will say, like I said,
but it's already there.
That is probably the most annoying part about it. No, the most annoying part about it is when you start shooting someone, they're about to die, and then they armor lock right as another of their teammates comes by.
Yeah.
So it's like they armor lock to save themselves just as they're being saved. Otherwise, they would have died. That is annoying. I will agree that the plasma grenade is annoying. Again, I can understand why it's there. I'm not gonna. Yeah. The only thing I complain about is that I can never get the fucking thing right.
Yeah, dude. Like when I ever like armor lock like a ghost or like a wraith, like it's just like,
fuck yeah.
Or whenever like even I thought it was so. I think it's so cool that even whenever it happened to me, I was like. I'd be like, yeah, good job, dude. Holy shit, you deserve that.
Here would be my reaction to it. I'd be like, damn it. All right. Like, I'd be immediately just, like, mad that I lost the vehicle, but then I'd be like, well, he earned it. That was pretty cool.
I mean, you have to... That has to be so... Like, the timing has to be perfect on that shit.
And you have to, like, tease them into it. You have to be like, oh,
or jump and shit, like, or, like, look at him, take a few shots, and you're like... Bitch!
Yeah, like, you pretend like, oh, I don't have armor lock, I have like sprint or something. Oh god, don't have...
Fuck you, Ghost.
And I will say the same thing with plasma grenades. I'm so bad at timing it when they throw it on me and then I boost it away. Like, when they do that, I'm like, god damn it, motherfucker. Okay, you earned it. Like, that was a cool... the timing is still hard to get down.
The worst is like throwing a grenade off and it bounces off and hits you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happened.
Oh god, it's happened to me a few times.
I hate it. I hate it.
I always laugh at. I always like the creative ways that I die.
What's your favorite of the armor? Not armor, but like the powers. What's your favorite
armor
of the range
lock?
powers?
Oh, and the jetpack. I thought that was pretty cool, but I also like thinking about that. I didn't understand how, I feel like they should not have added it or armor lock.
Because
actually,
of the prequel.
Yeah,
the fact that it's prequel,
and they just lost all that technology.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't fucking make sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Reach was the military stronghold.
That's always part of like the risk of being
a
prequel is you got to make sure that whatever you write into it, you have a reason for it. Why it didn't show up after that. But what was your favorite power up going to be?
Sprint or jetpack?
I think the jetpack's cool as shit. Like,
just because sprint is I never really enjoyed a lot of the power ups.
My favorite is
sprint was all I needed.
Hologram. My favorite's hologram.
That's a good one.
One of the best techniques, and I'm sure you've done this a few times, is just shoot the hologram downwards and then run.
I've tried that. That doesn't work as much as just sitting it across a room and then watching it. Because once people start shooting at it, I've done this too, where like I see someone running, I'm like, bam, 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 what? Fuck. Beat them, and then suddenly I get hit from behind because that was a fucking hologram I was shooting at the whole time. That is one of the most satisfying things to me, is when I fool someone with a hologram and manage to kill them for it.
The best thing...
And I will say jetpack too. But it's kind of situational.
Another way to do that hologram thing is, instead of running in the same direction, if you can, if you have your sensitivity super high, what you do is you gun it and then immediately bolt in the other, straight opposite direction, turn around, so they'll be like, what the fuck?
No, that I haven't been able to try. I do a lot of things where, where I'm, I'm running this direction and I start turning, like where I'm about to hide around a corner that someone's like seeing me hide around, but then I turn this way, send it off in the direction they would think I would be running, and then like kind of go a different direction and watch them follow the hologram as I hide off somewhere else, and then when they run forward, I just
bam.
And that is one of the most satisfying things. It's kind of rare, but when it does happen, I'm like, oh, I'm a
hologram. I'm okay with. I have no qualms with really any of them other than armor lock. I don't like
armor
it.
lock does get frustrating when, like I said, the most frustrating part for me is when you're about to get them dead, and then they somehow know how to armor lock to the point.
But there's also a good feeling when there's no one coming. You're like, I'm just gonna fucking stand here and wait because as soon as it's done, I'm gonna kill you. Like.
But like you guys know how I play. A lot of my kills come from sticky grenades, and just seeing them fly off after the armor lock, I'm just like.
I mean, well, that's one of my favorite ways to kill people too. But then when they do that, I'm like, well, he timed it right.
It's not favorite. It's my just.
It is it is my favorite way of killing. It's like I love the satisfaction of like of predicting it right where it hits them, right where I expect it to be, and then when they get it off, I'm like, when they get it off of them, I'm like, damn it, okay.
Like you guys saw that match
when
with
they armor
me
lock.
and Colton 1-on-1 in Halo 3 all those years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Me and him did a 1-on-1 match to see who was better. I got 1 kill on him, and then every time after that, he would kill me, but I would stick him right at the end every single time.
I think
and that's how I
was
chose.
that down in his basement?
Yes, I chose to play like that, and so every now and again he'd get a kill on me, and I wasn't able to stick him. Like, fine, I actually have to do something. I'd get a kill on him back, and then I just continually did that.
What game which one of you holds the title for Rambo and which game? We looked it up.
Halo 3 for you.
I'm Halo 3
Reach for
master.
me.
Okay.
Reach.
Like, we looked up the kill to death ratio, and one of you guys was better than the other one.
He was better than me on Halo 3. I know that because we talked about how he was better when the servers went down.
Yes, I win Halo 3 because the server, like, at least the servers that keep track of it are down, and they're not keeping track of those stats anymore. They ended when my stats were on top.
I think I own the title for Halo Reach's Rambo.
I know you guys can't see it, but I'm giving him a disbelieving face. Is
there any way we can look that up anymore?
I think it might still be on the Halo, but I don't know if
it might be on Bungie or it might be on
the old Bungie.net.
343.
Would the old Bungie.net still be there?
I think they might still have it.
Well, I know Bungie.net would be there because it's still a website. But I mean, like the actual
what?
The actual like a.
That's actually my thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It doesn't keep track of Reach. On goes up to ODST.
For some reason I thought it did. Maybe Reach is on. No. Reach would still be on here.
1.5 million.
Reach would still be on here because it was a Bungie game.
And Tools of Destruction, Pistol.
This is on ODST.
I could have swore Reach was on the Bungie website.
I guess not.
But no, I will say one more thing about Reach. I really didn't like that they got rid of the battle rifle.
I don't know.
The battle rifle was my absolute favorite weapon.
They did, didn't they?
They did. The DMR was not a suitable replacement. It was a good gun, but it was not battle rifle quality. I'm really glad they got it back for Halo 4, but when I just saw that this was the new battle rifle, I was just like, God damn it. It was one of the things that like made me not like the game as much as I liked Halo 3.
Service record.
Oh,
you gotta sign in.
I don't remember.
I remember all my stuff. I can sign in.
But Brad doesn't remember his stuff.
We can do it later, like off camera.
Fine. As of right now, it says that I'm better than you.
If we'll post the results on the description if we can find it.
Yeah.
But no, Halo Reach multiplayer on like it's kind of up there with Halo 3 multiplayer.
What?
Is it Rocket Race?
No, it's like up there with Halo 3 multiplayer for me. I like it about as much. It has it has differences to it that I appreciated. None of the maps I don't think were. Like, there weren't as many
to be honest,
good maps.
I'm so glad that they brought back Sanctuary from Halo 2 in Halo Reach as a community-made map.
I got burned out on Halo 3 so much.
Yeah.
Like, with the multiplayer. I played Reach, but I never bought any of the maps.
Neither did I.
Like, I liked Reach more than 3, but I never bought any of the maps just because I think that was a transition when, like, I started to, either something with school or something happened, but I wasn't playing like multiplayer games as much, and
no, I just didn't because like at that point it would be like, honestly at that point I was like I don't feel right, asking my parents just to get me this map pack for a game. Like if I could, if I needed some extra money for like a game or something, I felt like it was substantial enough to like ask for money. But if it was just like a little thing that's a digital download for a game that I already have, I didn't feel because at that point I didn't earn my own money.
Wasn't each one like $20?
Kid.
That's so much.
I mean, it was that I didn't earn my own money at that point, so it was just like I'd have to ask for money to get this. I don't feel right doing it, so I just didn't most of the time. I could go back and do that, but at that point I don't have.
For me, that doesn't apply. I worked at Steak and Shake at that time because that's how I afforded the fucking Legendary Edition of Reach.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, the Reach, like if Reach had like better maps, and I know that's kind of a subjective thing because I really liked the Halo 3 maps, and I didn't like as much of the Reach maps as I did almost any of the Halo 3 maps. Like
are you saying multiplayer maps?
Multiplayer maps.
Okay.
I like almost any Halo 3 map more than I like some of my favorite Reach maps. My favorite Reach map is probably Reflection, the Ivory Tower remake where everything's in like Asian architecture kind of thing.
That was really cool.
That one was really pretty.
That one and shit. Honestly, and it's kind of sad, but it's another remake. It's one of the Forge Worlds ones where you have the like thing in the middle that spins, the 3-pronged thing that spins. Ascension. That is another one of my favorites, but again,
in fact, both of those were from
it's a remake from
Halo 2.
Yeah,
Halo 2 maps for the win, guys.
The original Reach maps. I don't have that many that I love as much as I love any of the Halo 3 maps. It's kind of sad, but I mean, it's just the design didn't appeal to me as much as it used to. It was again part of the fact that Reach had a more realistic, gritty, brown and gray color palette that I didn't like as much as all the other Halo game color palettes.
Yeah,
color's a big deal as far as like making a game look cool.
Yeah, no, like
when you get one that's like
I said, that's how I felt about Skyrim. Like it just kind of felt dull and gray to me.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where
and that
majority of the game was underground caverns or dungeons or
everything
crypts.
Underground.
And they really didn't fucking change it. Like in Oblivion, there were so many different types of dungeons. It was like everything felt new.
Yeah.
This, it was like, I'm going through this again. Even though it was a new dungeon, it felt like I've already been through it.
Yep.
So I mean, when you get like those dull color palettes, it doesn't suit the game well. It's like it gets a more realistic looking. But why be realistic when you're space marines fighting aliens in outer worlds that are Halos?
Well, I mean, again, this makes for this one it makes sense because you're on Earth. Like, there's nowhere else they could go on Earth, like an Earth-like planet.
I know, but I wish they wouldn't have made it so much Earth-like. I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would have made it a more vibrant looking, because it is an extraterrestrial planet. It's not Earth. It's Reach.
It's like Alpha Centauri for us in real life.
You know, like talking about color palettes and how it can be a turn off for a game. I got Deus Ex,
Human Revolution.
Turned it on for 5 minutes and like, this is nothing but black and
orange.
I didn't play it for probably a few years until just this last year. I played through it. Great, amazing, beautiful, loved it game.
It's an awesome game.
Not exactly beautiful. I mean,
I thought it was cool.
It was very nice, but it was
still a lot of black and orange.
All black and orange.
I like the color palette. I like the color combination.
Black and orange?
I like that color combination. I like the color combination and what they did with it, because when the Shanghai, I think, was a level you had to go through, and like they made the woods orange, but then they made it in like a city that was below another city. So like the black was the sky being the underneath of a city. So like that color palette made sense in the way they designed it into the game.
It was just too much for me.
I can understand why I thought it was too much.
Like I said, it was the first 5 minutes. I'm like, there is literally nothing going on but black and orange.
But honestly, and that's like part of the fact that I liked it, because it wasn't the usual gray, brown, muddy green, that kind of thing. Like it was a color palette that you either loved or you hated, and I loved it just because it was different.
I learned to love it.
To be fair, even if you did hate it, if you liked the game enough, you could get used to it.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
It was a great game. Anyway,
back to Reach.
I mean, should we go? I mean, have we summed up Reach enough?
Team SWAT is amazing.
Don't get into that, because I know we all have different opinions.
I think we might have had that discussion back in Halo 3.
We did, but it was nasty.
But no, I liked the different game modes that they actually implemented into the Reach multiplayer. Rocket Race it's its own setting.
Griffball was its own thing.
Griffball.
Oh my god,
Infection.
I remember playing that in my dorm freshman year, and my roommate and I got in so much fucking trouble because we just go buck nasty screaming on it.
Team Sting! Dude.
What are we, Team Raptor?
Team Raptor.
That's
Griffball
right.
is a game that I hate unless I'm
think
playing
that's
with
right.
people that I know.
Yep.
Like, if I'm playing just against online strangers, I'm like, God, this is boring. But then when I'm facing against, like, if you get friends together to play Griffball, it becomes one of the most intense gaming things ever.
Will normally only played sports games.
Yeah.
Like, he played the shit out of, not Madden, but it was,
NCAA?
yeah, that's it.
NCAA.
And, when we played Griffball, he was like, I love me some Griffball. And I mean, I loved doing that with him. That was so fucking fun.
Yeah.
I remember one time our RA was like, he came in, he's like, what the hell? Shut up! You know, he was on the other side of the hall, like other side of the building, like, remember freshman dorm or
Yeah,
when you guys
it's
get
a
to
long
hallway there.
hallway.
Then there's a little intermediate area, and then there's another hallway. He was literally on the other side of the hallway down the thing, and he was like, "You guys are way too loud."
Dude, no way. Like,
And we were also super loud when we streamed WrestleMania to our rooms.
I'll also say, like, the fact that they made Infection a game type. I
yeah,
fucking loved Infection.
I like that. That was pretty.
I
cool.
wish, like, the only thing I don't like, Alpha Zombies. I think it is.
That's like Juggernaut. I
Yeah,
think
Alpha
that's what that
Zombies I
was.
don't like that much, and it appears a lot. But you could
I
vote.
never really played it.
That was a cool thing that they
I never
introduced. You
played
could vote.
voting.
You could vote for which map and what game type you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool.
Didn't they kind of start that? Like Halo's kind of started the whole map and voting stuff.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Call of Duty did that.
Call of Duty was
I
before.
wasn't sure.
Never
Modern
played
Warfare
Call of
2.
Duty.
It was in there. It was in Modern Warfare 2. I'm pretty sure. No, was it
I think it was Halo 3 that did it first.
Halo 3? No,
Halo 3 or Halo 2?
Reach.
The voting thing was in Halo 3.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I know it is. I remember playing that sand map, and that always got the vote when I played on multiplayer.
I think Halo started that, and Call of Duty is.
I'm
like,
not
hey,
saying that
that's
it
a good
started
idea.
that. I'm just saying I remember Halo 3
I don't think
had
that
the
it
vote.
started it. I don't remember it being. I might be wrong. I haven't played Halo 3 in a while. Halo 3 multiplayer.
Yeah, I remember Halo 3 had the vote.
Was it between 2 maps?
2 or 3.
Because I know Reach was 3. Reach was 3. Because, yeah, it was like, a map. It would always be like this. It would be like a map that I don't like with a game type that I do. A map that I like with a game type that I don't. And then a map that I like with a game type that I like.
And no one ever
would
picked
pick that.
Yeah.
No one would pick the combination that I like.
Always.
I remember that. Yeah, I definitely remember the Reach one. I don't remember. I'd have to go back through and look Halo 3.
But
I don't think it started it.
I remember Rocket Race. We rocked some of that like
Yeah,
a ball.
He's pointing at him and Chase, yeah. I was on a team with Colton.
Yeah, we've got this sweet ass picture of us like mid-air, like with the cart turning. We're either firing a missile or like we're about ready to. Super sweet.
We rocked it. And
Yeah, we did.
we played a few games of that with me, Chase, and a couple other of our friends.
We
and
rocked. We rocked.
Every team that I was on,
We rock it.
I think we won.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we fucking won.
It was me and you one time, me and Jack another. I don't think me and Paul did. I think it went back to me and you. But every time.
Yeah, we freaking
won.
boned it. Freaking boned
Yeah,
it.
so I think honestly that's
Good memories.
It is good
that's pretty much the Reach.
All right, so
I mean,
That's all we can.
For me,
No, I'm not
honestly,
even gonna try to do that.
honestly, the campaign wasn't as interesting as it could have been, but the multiplayer still like carried the game for me. It was really good. But then I know that the Reach campaign, when they did turn personal, like it's one of those things where it's a different way to do it, but it's something that they did have to do because of the context of the game.
Yeah.
So I understand why they did it. I just wish they would have done it a little bit better.
before I know we're gonna get into Halo 4 now.
Mhm.
Before we start, I remember how I said that Halo 3, I felt like they were gonna do a sequel and they should have did a sequel.
Mhm.
After that long wait, I remember, now they shouldn't have had a sequel. Like, just because the length between 3 and 4, that like period of time, to me that was it. Like, I kind of like accepted in my mind like
Halo's done.
Halo was done.
Yeah.
I wish they did not make that.
Halo 4.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad game. Really liked watching you guys play it. I wish they didn't do it.
I tell you what, it's an interesting story, and I'm glad the story exists.
Mm.
I would be okay with it existing as a book.
Also, yeah, story. That if you didn't really if you had no background into this is a really heavy introduction into all that shit.
Yeah, I had no idea what the Didact of the Librarian was, and when it all got introduced as we were in your basement, half playing it, half watching him play Tor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was.
Yeah.
So when that was happening, I'd be every once in a while who the fuck's this white lady?
Yeah.
What the hell's happening here? It'd be one of those things where
it just felt like the story was thrown on you.
And it's another one of those things for me where
there was a small lead into it from Halo 3 though. You had to know what you were actually looking for and able to read quickly to have done it.
And I will say that it's another one of those things where Halo, for some reason, the Halo games, when I get a lot of those names, the Ark, Ark of the Covenant, hey. But the Ark, the
Covenant, the Prophet of Truth.
What's the name? What's the key? The key that they use?
Index.
I fucking didn't know what the index was until I beat Halo 4.
The Cartographer.
Still don't know what that is.
It's basically it's the map of the Halo and where you can find anything, even if it's new. A new ship is on there, the Cartographer finds it and will show it to you.
Okay.
You know what a Cartographer is, though, right?
Is it a map maker?
Yes.
Yeah. The actual person who makes maps?
Yeah, a person who draws maps is called a cartographer.
Okay. See,
and that's what that did.
When I get a lot of those names like that, they just kind of wash over me because and this happened a lot in this game where just the Librarian, the Didact, the Prometheans. For a while, I didn't know the Prometheans were the names of the people that we were fighting.
I mean, I still feel like just that the build-up was just, or not the build-up, but I mean,
the hype?
It was not a good. No, it was not a good progression. The story, when it started, it was just there was no ease into it. Even with the reading, they should not have done that because that Halo 3 came out 4 or 5 years ago. That's stupid.
The reading even wasn't that great, like I said, because you had to be a really quick reader and you had to be able to find all the terminals.
Yeah, I will say that first of all, I know a lot of this is in the books, where the Didact and Librarian, all that comes from. But then at the same time, when you don't read the books, I started playing it. I got the introduction of it was really intriguing. I was like, what are these enemies? Where are we? What is this thing happening? And then you get to the one mission where you have to fight through the Promethean. You're like, this is so cool. This is a different. This looks like Forerunner, but it isn't. I don't think, because Forerunner's us, isn't it? And then you're getting up to the climax of what's all happening. And then they just dump exposition on you.
Yeah,
they just pull down their pants and take an exposition shit all over your face, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
wait,
you're what?
Who's Didact? We were humans, but we were I know
that's way too much shit thrown at you at once.
At one moment.
It's crazy. And
they did introduce a lot of that and too fast. The build-up was nice, but then, boom, they answer all your questions too quickly.
Yeah, it's...
I will say, though, with all that, the storyline they had with Cortana is probably the best Halo storyline they have.
And again, I was really happy when they did it, because that is in the books that I read. It talks about in the Fall of Reach.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I saw the trailer and she started glitching out, and I was like,
yeah,
they held on to it.
Yeah, because I remember hearing about that even as early as Halo 3. I think they might have started mentioning things like AI's only last 7 years. Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit older than that. And
do you think Bungie ever intended they just put that in there that way if they wanted to continue it they could?
I think they did that for the sake of. Did they at that point know that they were gonna that another company was gonna be continuing Halo games?
Before they even made Halo 1, they already knew that Halo was going to be given over to Microsoft because Bungie did a viaduct telling about how they got off their feet. One of the things that they did is a game they had, if you tried to uninstall it, it would crash your computer. And I mean, you had to buy basically a new computer because of that. And Microsoft bailed them out and said, We'll help you out, but in 10 years we get this, and you're going to kind of do this project for us. That project was Halo.
Yeah.
10 years later, went to them.
I really wish they would make something or do something about the events that happened between 2552 and 2557.
Between the end of Halo 3 and the beginning of Halo 4.
Yeah,
because when he's floating in space.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't be Chief's story because he's in that cryo shit the whole time.
It'd be Earth's story.
Because, I mean, like, did you see... I mean, the didact was like, Earth, da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, at the end. And it's like, Earth got super advanced real fast.
I think they might still be referring just to the fact that, like, Earth has, like, interstellar travel and, like, is a big threat just in the sense that...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, when it showed that final cutscene, it's like... And then the fact that all their new Spartans and everything, I wish I could see more of that time period.
Yeah, we're talking about just, like, how the, because that was an interesting thing to me, like, the, you know, Didact and the Forerunners knew, I mean, not just that they knew that humanity was a threat, they knew that humanity existed at all.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that they must have had, like, either contact or, like, someone from the Didact was watching them.
They answered that in that shitstorm of an explanation that you were talking about.
Yeah.
The Forerunners were getting wiped out by humans. The humans had already achieved space travel and all that. And the Forerunners thought it was because the humans are just bloodthirsty, warmonger apes that
But then they were running from the flood.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember now.
But the Forerunner Didact's just like, yeah, fuck you, and wipe out back to the Stone Age.
Ah.
And so they knew about it. And then they were watching us the entire time as we grew out of the Stone Age. I think that's how that kind of worked.
Yeah, I did not get that.
Yeah, yep. Surprise!
Like, I feel like that's almost a game that you might have to play just to get play again just to get the story.
And honestly, and again,
you know, that shouldn't have to be a thing. To play the game more than one time to understand the story.
Yeah, and again, like, that's something where the story was cool. Like, well, the story was it was handled not very well in how they introduced all that to you. But then the actual story after that of, like, Cortana and, like, Chief reacting to all, like, Chief going through all this with the Didact and stuff, that was still cool. But again, like, I could understand if they did it as a book. I kind of honestly am kind of in agreement with you in that I don't know if it was worth an entire new trilogy of games, because it is going to be a trilogy. I remember knowing that when Halo 4 was announced that they were going to be a new trilogy. I was like, this game better be like the Godfather of all games.
I also
where,
wish
like,
they didn't do that because
continues on and is so good that it justifies, and the story is so good and the gameplay is so good that it justifies a whole new trilogy. The story was good, the gameplay was Halo. The gameplay was what you would expect, but it wasn't enough in that direction for me to justify a whole new trilogy.
What I'm saying is, like, I wish they didn't say that it was going to be a new trilogy, and they're just like, Halo 4, you know, whatever. Because, like, when I saw the Didact, I'm like, that's going to be the bad guy for the next few games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of just gave it away, and I hate that.
And to be fair, like,
no, he fell off of a bridge. Like, that is so anticlimactic.
That is one of the easiest deaths to write yourself out of. Like, they did not show him actually,
or like pulse. His head got cut off.
Cortana blew up the ship, killing him.
They didn't show that.
They didn't show that explosion. They saw Chief in that, like, weird, like, meta head bubble or whatever the fuck that was. Where was Chief? What was that?
It was you know that light bridge that they were standing on? Mm-hmm. Basically turned that into a sphere. Cortana did that.
So, but she blew up the station.
Did that.
But
somehow
the thing was still, like, Chief wasn't falling down. She now has the power to control gravity.
Yes.
Well,
like,
the whole thing was exploding. Was it the whole thing, the whole planet, or just that one?
It wasn't.
It wasn't a planet. They were on a ship. They were attacking Earth.
It was the Didact ship. It was the Didact ship.
Yeah, it was the Didact ship.
Oh, the Didact ship.
Because remember, he had that sweet ass plane.
Yeah, I remember now. But if she would have exploded that, where was he? If he was, like, far enough away from the atmosphere, he wouldn't have fell. He would have, like, kind of floated.
Even that, but, like, with that shield thing, how was she able to keep that up when, like, the station was exploded?
I don't know. I just kind of pulled that out. I just kind of pulled that out of my ass. Okay. Why you gotta be popping holes in
That's
bubbles?
some Mass Effect ending shit. Like, a lot of unexplained.
Yeah, and
I think she somewhat kind of explained it. I don't know.
That Didact is not dead. I swear to God. It is not dead.
He's dead.
Even after he talked at the end, like, that's almost like ominous villain. That, you know, that could have been like him saying something precursor, but the way they put it at the end, that's like bad guy. Next game.
I mean, think about it. He fell. You didn't see him hit the ground. He just kind of fell beneath, like, a veil. That's the last you see of him. they don't see him fall. You don't see him like hit. You don't see like where his body
you don't see
is.
him actually die.
When he explodes, they don't
fall.
see like his body floating away or like chunks of him. You just see him fall under a veil. You don't know. There might have been a teleporter under there. There might have been
I'm going
a
to say that he's dead.
I don't think he's dead.
If Halo
He's
5
not
comes
dead.
out and he is the enemy, fine. I admit I am wrong, but I say he is dead.
There are two ways I can see the Halo series turning out. It's going to be the didact and all that shit, or it's going to be the UNSC. Like, there's going to be a turning, like, inside humanity.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the didact's dead. That is such an easy death to
Yeah,
write
there's-
yourself out of.
Yeah.
Falling, disappearing, and then it explodes.
I know it. I know that it's an easy death to write out of. I just don't think that they're going to do it. I think he's dead.
I don't. Like,
Yeah,
not
'cause-
even, like, the easy death writing out, like, just to, like...
And that, as for that ending thing, I don't really know how to describe that, but I really liked it. To me, it almost seemed as though the way I pictured it, if you weren't watching the cutscene, it would just be him, like, in front, like, of a court of other Forerunners. That's what I saw, like, thought of in my mind whenever he was doing that. Like, he was getting, like, punished by a court, and he was addressing his reasons or whatever for that. As for, in fact, he was imprisoned in that little bubble. Like, that entire shield world was his prison. The court put him there for destroying humanity, and that's what he was talking about, was how humanity got advanced. I think that was what that was.
I said, again, that could be a precursor thing, but the way they played it at the end...
Why would they have him fall when they could just as easily have Chief shove a sword through him?
Yeah.
Why would they have him fall when they can easily have his death shown? Halo's not a game series that, like, looks away at death.
Also, Chief survived an explosion.
Chief survived falling from atmosphere.
I think the didact, the dude that, I think he could have survived that.
There is just as much...
But I just don't think he did.
Also, how did gravity... Like, he fell, but Chief, at the end, was just floating in space, right?
That was after the ship had been destroyed. The ship had its own source of gravity, and the didact went towards it, not towards Earth.
No, but I'm saying, like, after the ship was destroyed, Chief was still floating in the air.
I'm thinking they had him die off that way to keep around the possibility of him coming back. Otherwise, they would have just killed him. Like, they kill their main bad guys by physically killing them. You saw, the Prophet of Truth's death. You
Prophet
saw
of Regret's death.
You saw
Tartarus's
death. You saw Hivemind's death. Is it Gravemind or Hivemind?
Gravemind, and you didn't actually see that.
Didn't you?
No.
It was explosion.
It was an explosion.
I would assume that would be dead.
I would too. That's why I think the didact's dead.
Well, I mean, that thing is giant, and it's probably rooted in there. It's not like a snake.
When did Gravemind die?
Gravemind died in
Halo 3.
I know it was Halo 3, but wasn't it the end of was it the end of the mission where you, like, go inside of him, right? No? Wasn't that, like, where he, like, blows up part of it, and, like, then the next mission is the last mission, and you, like, hear him still talking to you as he sends his flood forces down?
He was on the Covenant ship High Charity.
Yes.
Which is, like, the biggest ship they had, which was their city worlder, basically, that just moved around.
Yes.
He was on that. That's where you go into that, and you get Cortana back, and you leave.
Yes, but then you blow it up.
He takes that... No. I don't think... Well, no. You do.
Because then at the end, like, he's, like,
but
super
he doesn't
injured.
die from it. He goes on to, I think, either the Ark or the new Installation 04. Because that's what the Ark was making.
They then explode.
And then they explode
to kill the
Halo.
entire Ark.
Yes. They fire off Halo 4 before it was fully made.
Yes.
That way it would destroy Installation 4 and the Ark.
And in the middle of all this, Gravemind was where?
On either Installation 4 or the Ark. I'm not sure. Or High Charity still somehow is alive, but that was on the Ark.
Okay.
Everything is on the Ark.
I can see...
The universe is on the Ark.
I can see the connection there where you can say... I can see what you're saying now. That they killed off Gravemind in the same way, but Gravemind, I would imagine, would be dead.
If the whole thing exploded, I would assume that it would need air or some host to live.
No, just in the sense of that, like, it was a big enough explosion, it's going to incinerate anything in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the size of the didact ship?
I don't think the didact was there when it exploded.
Yeah, if he... That's the thing, though, like, I know you're like he had his artificial gravity, but he still fell off of it, and there was gravity. There was like no gravity everywhere else, so he like could have just been like he shouldn't have fell down and hit anything.
I'm saying he fell, and then wasn't there after that. Like he fell, something happened to him, and then he got off before the explosion happened. Gravemind couldn't just fall off
into
nothing and then disappear. He was there when it exploded, and that explosion was so massive it incinerated him. I don't think the Didact was there when it exploded.
You know, you also... I just now remembered this. You also stick a grenade onto him before you send him off.
Yeah, but I don't think that killed him either.
It certainly would have hurt any way of him being able to teleport.
Not necessarily.
I think so.
Not if he fell into a teleporter.
Why would you put a teleporter down that hole?
Why would you say that he teleported?
Why would you show...
He's the one that said that.
You said he teleported?
I didn't think he was there when it exploded. I think he, like, got somewhere else.
Yeah, either.
And
like,
why would they hide him actually, like, hitting a death? Why would they hide his actual death?
Because of what's going on with Cortana?
It's like if in... Oh, God, huge spoilers.
No.
You don't want to do Game of Thrones spoilers?
No. We're not bringing Game of Thrones spoilers into this.
Well...
But no, I'm saying, it's like how the, if they have a big death like that, and they want to show that death, they will show that death. Halo shows deaths like that. The big enemy is dead now. You've seen him die.
Bungie shows deaths like that.
Halo does.
But I mean, I don't know if the new studio...
And I can't imagine them killing off the main character by not showing his death, just implying that, oh, he fell. You can't see him hit anything or physically see his body, but he fell. I can't see, like...
I don't think it was the fall that killed him. I think it was the explosion shortly thereafterward that did.
But the fact that you didn't see him, like... If they would have had, like, a shot of, like, his face, like, it's exploding? What? And then it exploded.
Boof.
Boof.
Like
they did, the fact that they didn't include something
going.
like that makes me think they didn't kill him.
Like, you don't actually see the fucking explosion at all. You see...
Except for when you're in that shield bubble.
I don't think anything... I'm not... I think it exploded. Fine.
Yeah, you don't even see... But you don't see the explosion when you're in the bubble. You just see the bubble.
You don't see anything.
You don't see anything. It's... You're in the bubble, and then... Everything's
You don't see
dead.
if, like the fucking Didact does anything after that. Once he disappears, that's what I'm saying. Once he disappears, it's open for the possibility of him living. And I'm saying, as someone who would, like... As a writer, they would want to keep that villain around.
Because I mean, what other villain
to disagree?
What other villain would they have, Chad?
I didn't know what villain they would have with Halo 4 when they even announced it.
But now they have one.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
That'd be really shitty if they're making a trilogy. That's like if in the first game in Halo 1 you stop the Covenant.
The next game.
And I'm just saying, this is what I believe. You're not going to be able to change my mind, so we're just going to have to agree to disagree.
I'm just saying it would be for real. Like, I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying it would be for real dumb. Like if they brought this thing in here, like they brought this big force, it got stopped in one game, and they're making 2 more games.
If it is his death, it is super, super not good. It is super anticlimactic. Of him falling, you don't see him die. I don't think it'd be bad if that was his actual death.
I think it was okay. I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it in its entirety.
If we're gonna have to agree to disagree, that's fine. But
I think
I'm publicly stating now, and if it does turn out,
Brad,
I'm publicly stating now, and if it turns out to be wrong, I will admit that I was wrong. Didact is not dead. That was not his death.
And I'm saying against that. I think that the Didact is dead, and that was his death.
So what do you guys think? Okay,
I didn't play any multiplayer.
The Spartan Ops.
Didn't play any of it.
It was like a story. Did you ever play any of it?
No.
It was like for real another like personal story like Reach inside this.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it showed like cinematic trailers and everything. Each week it came up with a new story that you would do.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do it now. Like you can just go through the weeks and play, but it had like actual cutscenes. It had everything, and there were missions and multiplayer missions where you it would be like bases and like battery, I think it's called, where you charge like a station up and then you move on to the next one, or you protect it or something like that. But I mean, like it was a story inside Halo 4. It's basically what ODST should have been, like an add-on, but you can't play it unless you have Xbox Live Gold. So
That's
Can I just say, just for future, like,
reference?
not for future reference, but as kind of a, I don't know what it'd be called, like an insurance plan. I will say, whatever happens with the discussion that we had, whether or not he does turn out to be dead, let's not be dicks about whoever's wrong.
Okay.
I'm not going to be a dick to you if you're wrong. I hope you don't be a dick to us if we're wrong.
I won't be a dick.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for that. Sorry. Let's go ahead. I thought it was a really cool idea. I thought it was like super a smart thing to do with it.
I don't know if this is like if we're trying to avoid spoilers or not.
I don't think at this. Well,
Okay.
For the Spartan.
What do we think about? What do you guys think about Cortana? Is she actually gone?
Cortana shit.
I'd like to say yeah, but I don't think so because she was such an important story element. Like,
I would like to say so too. I would like to say she is dead. Again, there's kind of like enough. I don't know. It's been honestly.
I think it'd be hard to bring her back.
It'd be hard to bring her back.
You could say that when she shed all those pieces of her,
she lost her rampancy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could like
because then
this is one I could go either way. I'm not so strongly that she is dead. I'm not so strongly that she isn't. I
want her to be alive. I think that they're gonna try and bring her back. The only way I can see that is that the device that the Didact was using to turn people into AI
reversed it.
Exactly.
See what I'm thinking?
The only thing is that it blew up with the ship.
See, the thing I'm thinking is, I kind of, well, I agree that like they might try to bring her back, but I disagree in that I want her to be dead because that was a really emotional part of the game that would kind of be voided if she comes back. Just hey, Chief, this overcomplicated series of events because it's Halo and it's going to do that. This overcomplicated series of events happened and I'm alive now. If they just keep her dead, that'd be super like. Right in the feels, man.
It's still right in the
looks
feels,
like,
and if she comes back, it'll be like right in the feels again, like yay!
You guys remember the first thing for Halo 5 that it showed at E3, where it showed Chief in the sand.
I didn't see any.
Well, it showed like Chief all fucking battered and torn up, like in his Spartan suit, and he had this like cape on and stuff. Actually, it was like he was fully caped with a hood.
Yeah,
a hood over his helmet.
Which was to protect him from the harsh sun.
But I mean, then he like got in this big like dune, like this big pit, and like just like a desert, and he took it off, and you saw him all like just torn to hell. And then some Michael Bay transformer came out of the ground. It was like a giant scorpion ship.
It was a big looking thing, and I will say
what?
I'm not fucking with you.
You've never seen the trailer?
I've never seen the trailer.
That seems like something you would watch. That seems like something
we'll pull it up after this.
You'd want to keep on top of because that is like.
I know
it's been a while since I've seen it.
I'll write it down. That way
remember exactly what the thing looked like. But for some reason, when I remember seeing it, and this might just be because I'm remembering it wrong. It still looked Promethean.
Yeah,
it looked big and Promethean, like
no,
the
you're not
Prometheans are still going to be a big enemy in this game. It doesn't look like they're switching enemies in that sense. Like this is the race that they stopped, and then they're going on to a new race. It's still a Promethean.
The Prometheans are completely done. I mean, the Didact completely changed their programming to fight for him. Even if he's gone, I'm sure they're still going to try that.
But I mean, then it wouldn't be a game. It's like there isn't an actual leader figure.
Yeah, and there isn't a villain after that. I can't picture. But anyway, like that's kind of speculating. Yeah. But what I'm saying is the what was I going to say? No, the thing looked Promethean, and it made me think that it's going to be continuing in the Promethean storyline. But when they showed him like with alone, not satchel, but cloak over him, walking through a desert, it made me think this guy is completely alone now.
Yeah, and
that would kind of be like
Cortana. It's not bad.
It would honestly to me it would be kind of like fuck. What do you think? What am I thinking of? It would be kind of a cop out. And it would it would void all the emotions I felt from the previous game.
Unless there's some really fucking good explanation why she didn't die.
Even then, it'd be like
I don't know if I can. It would be that she didn't die, or if they were just somehow able. No, that'd be impossible too. Like to remake her with all of her memories.
And it'd be like the risk also runs of them like, well, this AI's dead. We have to give Chief a new AI. Here's this one. If they introduce a new AI, that'd be super risky because that's like everyone loves Cortana. How are they gonna they have to be super careful with the new AI they introduce.
If they do that, I will almost guarantee you that Chief will not like it, and they will be in conflict.
And that is part of it. Like,
and
how would they
sure
introduce
that's
it?
how that's how the audience, like the game players, would feel, because they, we've all said, you are Chief.
You know what's going to be
in
shitty?
conflict with the II, we are.
He's going to have one, because Cortana does, like, just think about all the shit Cortana does for Chief.
Yeah.
All the heads-up display, like, all, like, this internal stuff in his suit.
Yeah.
That's all her. He has to have something.
See, yeah. I'm picturing one of three things happening for new AI. I'm picturing, like, a super, like, a computer, pretty much.
Yeah,
where
just
it's
like
just
a standard...
It's just like, hello, I am Unit 573. Where,
I
like,
am AI bot.
I am iBot 7000, and you just, like, Chief, like, plug me in, and then you do, and then he does the thing, and then you're gone. I'm picturing anti-Cortana, which is what you were talking about, where it's a Cortana that isn't Cortana. It's like a it's an AI personality that is against Chief, and like it's completely opposite of what we are used to, and the conflict arises in that. Or they're gonna like try to remake a Cortana as close to Cortana as they can make it without it being Cortana.
I'd hate that.
That would be the worst. That would probably be the worst of them.
I
If they make a Cortana.
I think Chief would, again, it'd be like I know what you're trying to do. It's cool, but I don't like it.
I don't think it'd be that he doesn't like it.
I would hate it
like,
if Chief was okay with it.
I know he wouldn't be.
I know he wouldn't be, but if like they wrote it like that,
no, he wouldn't be.
I would hate it.
I'm thinking he wouldn't be. I don't think he would necessarily be like, I don't like you, as much as he'd be like, this is too weird. Like it'd be off-putting, but I don't think it'd immediately be like.
Did you guys ever see the
you.
Guardians trailer?
No.
We'll have to watch that too.
Halo 5 and the Guardians is one and the same.
Halo 5 Guardians.
That's what I'm saying. Did you guys see the Guardians trailer?
Can we speak about that too? I don't like that they're suddenly going to Halo 5 Guardians.
Well, I mean, again, I said the reason why is because they want to get off these numbers like things, because the dude that does it now, 343, they're like, we're not Final Fantasy. We don't want to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But so that they're doing Halo 5 Guardians to try to get the transition to the next, just like
well,
like
why are they going to 12? We're just going to 7, right?
You mean 6?
6.
And
That's right.
Well, they also said like in case of any spin-offs in the future, like any other.
Here's my thing against
the spin-offs wouldn't be numbered. They just
that's the thing for me. Like, they're not Final Fantasy, yeah, whatever. But Final Fantasy is a different thing in that each numbered game is its own universe, its own story. This is continuing one story. It makes sense for every story in the game, like, to be uniform, to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is messing with people who have like.
I don't know if Halo 5 is going to be all Chief though. I got to show you guys that trailer.
You do,
but even still, like, if it's following this storyline, then even if it's following just like the main trilogy, the main series of games, even if they go away from Chief a little bit, it's still the main series.
Yeah.
The spin-offs would be the Halo Guardians, or the Halo they had Spartan Assault, the Halo with caption underneath it.
I think it would be weird if like at 6 they didn't label it Halo 6, they just was like Halo
something.
Like
Halo,
just like some end word for end or something.
Revengeance.
No.
But no.
Brad.
It'd be
So
like Halo Revenge, Halo Reckoning, or Halo, like, one of the big three. It's like there are three big like captions that they always put underneath titles that they're not creative enough to think of. But it's like it seems. I mean, it's kind of like it's messing with people who have OCD about their names. About like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Guardians, 6, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like why would they suddenly start shifting at the 5th game? Why not start at the 4th game?
Yeah, if they were gonna do that, you're right. They should have done it at the 4th.
And a series that's kind of like that in Assassin's Creed. They did Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and then they did a storyline off of 2 that they captioned.
Revelation.
But they didn't.
Revelations.
Did they call it Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood? I thought it was just Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
But they had captions underneath it. They got rid of the number for that game.
But I mean, this kind of brings me back to this. I mean, Halo 3 ODST.
That was an add-on. It wasn't its own game.
It wasn't supposed to be.
It wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like as an insult to the game. It's still a good game, but I mean,
great game for what it was. It wasn't supposed to be a full game.
It wasn't supposed to be a full game. It was like named as an add-on, and it felt like one.
Yeah.
But then this game is supposed to be a full new game in the new series.
Don't name it like
Halo
an add-on.
5, Halo 5, and then whatever happens with 6. I swear to God, I hope this happens just so that we can laugh at them. I hope that the audience reacts negatively enough that they go back to just numbering 6.
Halo 6.
And then it's like Halo 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo 6. That'd be so fucking
Yeah.
like fuck you, go back.
I think regardless they fucked it up because
I think
even
they
with
did.
they're gonna like if they don't put a title on it, it's gonna look weird. If they do put a title on it, that's
It's
gonna
already
be
too late.
Halo 5 title, Halo 6 title. What the fuck were they doing?
What if they just go Halo
So
4,
far, like,
Halo 5 title, Halo title for the Halo 6?
Or if they just, I would be okay if they did it for just the 6th one, the very last one. If they were like
Because
Halo
they've only
6.
done it with the first one. Halo Combat Evolved. Halo 2,
Oh,
Halo
yeah.
3,
They did do
Halo
that,
4,
yeah.
Yep, Halo Combat Evolved.
Halo 5, and then Halo 6, something again. I would be perfectly okay
I will
with
say, I heard the reason why they called it Halo Combat Evolved was to make it popular in Japan.
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
I've heard that.
They did it so that the Japanese audience would because Xbox isn't a Japanese console; it's an American console. Whereas Sony, PlayStation is what is in Japan. Japan makes it, and it's super popular in Japan. They're like, let's see if we can get this game that's supposed to be super popular for the Xbox. See if we can sell it to the Japanese market. Don't just call it Halo.
Yeah.
That won't be interesting enough. Call it Halo Combat Evolved to get the Japanese audience into it more. Didn't work. Didn't work at all.
Yeah, like when Microsoft started working on the
Are we done
Xbox,
talking about 4? By the way,
I think so.
Because I don't think.
I think
none of us played the multiplayer, did we?
no. But I mean,
I have.
you guys didn't talk
Like,
about the
a lot?
campaign.
Not a lot.
You didn't talk about the gameplay of 4. You just talked about how we.
'Cause it's more
liked
Halo.
The campaign. Okay.
It's more of Halo. It's like they didn't make enough changes to it. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not enough changes to it to justify a new series. That's just my opinion, though.
What did you guys think about the new power-ups, the little robot and the giant tower wall shield? That you
Tower
can
Wall
walk
Shield
with?
I liked. Robot was poopy.
Yeah,
Were those the only two?
I don't
was
know.
kinda
If
useless.
those were the only two.
I was also going to say, what about the new guns that they came out with?
Loved the new gun.
New
The
guns.
Promethean weapons.
Mm,
I always liked how you like.
I like the
they
design
done
of
how a
they
fucking
fell
transformer.
apart.
I liked the design of them. I didn't like how they were just like copies of guns that already existed.
Again, I didn't play enough to
Kinda.
say that.
Because I mean, they got shotgun, scatter shot, sniper rifle, binary rifle.
Binary rifle was ridiculously more powerful, though, I think.
But it's still the same concept.
Well, yeah, I mean, how many ways can you remake the wheel?
Don't just have a wheel. That's good. And I'm
But
saying
so
like
you're gonna have this new whole sect of enemies with human weapons?
no, with their own weapons that you can't
But
use.
then why?
Because why would you have a gun and then have a gun that's exactly like that gun?
Because that makes sense. Because they weren't us, and
For their race, maybe that's what they came up with. I mean, when the Covenant came with, actually, yeah, this will make a point. When the Covenant came, they had everything plasma. You know how the plasma pistols that took out shields. They're okay.
What I'm saying is
They
none
had
of the
different grenades and shit. Like the Covenant came with it was new, like basically the same weapons, but they did just slightly different things than
Yeah.
the standard human weapons.
And
But
that's
then
what I
they
think
have
that
those
these
weapons
Prometheans did.
too in Halo 4. They have the Covenant weapons too.
Because the Covenant was also there.
Yeah. It felt like an overload
was
of
three
guns.
factions.
It was an overload
So
of
many
guns.
guns.
It was too much. It was like, we have this gun that exists and is powerful, but then we have a gun that does the exact same thing and is also powerful. And then we have a gun that does the exact same thing that's also powerful. And then a gun that... They have shotgun, sword, hammer, scattershot. All close-range weapons that do one big powerful thing, and then they don't have a lot of ammo to them.
But they weren't... You never found a single mission, except for maybe the last one.
The last
right
one, they
before,
were all in
where,
there.
yeah. Other than that, they weren't all just right next. You won't find a sword-carrying elite, a hammer-carrying brute, a scattershot-wielding Promethean, and a couple Marine with a shotgun, all right standing next to you. You're like, okay, well, let's go. That's never going to happen, and it never did.
No, but
Halo 5 happens.
Halo 5 happens, and they're all just there. It's like, let's get this done.
What I'm saying is, it felt like... and this is the same problem I had with, in this kind of different game, Left 4 Dead 2, when it came out. They had a bunch of different weapons that did
I'm
slightly
sorry to
the same
interrupt
thing.
you. We are running on 2 hours and 9 minutes.
I know.
for time.
Once we wrap up the Halo 4 discussion, I think we're done.
Okay.
But no, I didn't like how they had weapons that essentially did the same thing, so that you kind of it'd be like, well, what's the difference here? I'm picking up this gun when this other gun over here. Like,
it
never felt like if you had a scatter shot and you found a shotgun, you pick up the shotgun if your scatter shot was low on ammo. It's like once you get low on one of the ammos, the point of it is that you drop it and you pick up like that weapon's supposed to last as long as the ammo lasts, but then once it's gone, it's gone. You don't dies. You don't
just find a different
and then you find a new variety of that same weapon.
The only way, like the only guns that happened with was like battle rifle DMR, Covenant carbine,
Beam
and
rifle.
the light rifle.
Or your light rifle.
Those are the only ones, but those are common weapons. Those aren't the power weapons. They're just your
Every,
standard.
like,
But then you've also got the sniper rifle, the beam rifle, the binary rifle.
And those didn't show up all that often.
But it always felt like if one ran out, then it'd be like, okay.
Something
you had a sniper.
That
there
did happen a lot in the
There
campaign.
was a sniper rifle.
When you guys played.
You drop off, and then it'd be like, well, there's a binary rifle over here.
Yeah, because multiple times Brad would be carrying like the binary rifle, and you'd be like, "Oh, found a sniper," and you
like
want that. You're like, "I'm out of ammo."
I'd always call it a sniper, the binary rifle though, but that's because that's what enemies carried.
But then when you run out of those, that's
There's
the point.
Always
you run out of the powerful weapons soon. So
it doesn't. It should make the weapon scare. I think what he's trying to say is they shouldn't like the rare weapon shouldn't be so common. Like, is that what you're saying? Because like, if you ran out of like a rifle of one faction, you found another like
a rifle of
the other one.
And that's what happened.
I don't think that happened all that often.
From what I remember him with the binary rifle and then the UNSC sniper rifle. That happened a lot.
I remember the same thing with the scatter shot and the shotgun. And I remember, well, not so much with the incendiary cannon.
Because I remember you always sniped.
The incendiary cannon didn't show up enough.
No, that.
And neither did the rocket launcher. But it's still, the sniper rifle and scatter shot and all those variants
the Promethean
are still
rocket
launcher.
Incendiary cannon.
The ones that like blew up and then it like, and that was, I will say, that is a weapon variant that remakes the wheel in a much more interesting way. It doesn't just blow up; it blows up and then bounces and blows up.
Bouncing Betties.
Merv.
I don't understand. Merv is an actual acronym. I don't know what it actually stands for. Multiples.
But whatever. Like the way it does it is still at its core a rocket launcher that explodes, boom. But then it does something different with it, and like the scatter shot and the shotgun are the same weapon, and I don't understand the
light
variety.
rifle and battle rifle are the same weapon.
Yeah.
The binary rifle and the sniper rifle are the same weapon, but they're made by two different factions. That's why.
But the point that I'm making is that I didn't like that because it felt like it wasn't even a different flavor. It wasn't even a different flavor of the same weapon. It was a different. It was a different casing that the same flavor came from, and it just felt kind of pointless to me. The same reason that like the Left 4 Dead guns felt pointless to me, and like you have an AK, an assault rifle, or like a battle rifle, kind of weird. Like they all did the exact same thing, different skins, same thing, same
one
overall.
It's like.
And that's just, it might just be like
the binary rifle and the sniper rifle. The binary rifle is a little bit more powerful, but it has lower ammo. The sniper rifle is not as powerful, so it has more. You can have more ammo per magazine.
Yeah.
Opposite thing with the shotguns. The scatter shot held more ammo than the shotgun did, I think.
But either way, if you get right up to an enemy with either of those,
you're gonna kill them.
They're dead immediately.
Boom to the head,
basically.
Yeah, I'm just, and this could just be
not
like
on Legendary.
my own, and it's the same. Like it's a complaint I had for Left 4 Dead 2 that I didn't see a lot of other people have. It might just be a complaint that I have, just because like, but the way that and Chase explained it well is that it felt like once you got rid of one powerful weapon, you just find the same powerful weapon of a different faction, so you never ran out of it. And I didn't like that because it felt like you should run out of it. And
you should treat it as something like when I remember in at least Halo 3 and Reach, whenever you get something like a rocket launcher or a gravity hammer or a sword, you
almost didn't want to use it because you knew you weren't going to get another one.
Exactly. And 4, just from watching you guys, I mean,
I don't.
The only thing that I remember is how fast he would go through snipers, just picking dudes off, and then it would just seem like he would immediately get another sniper, whether it be more ammo for
I will say
the binary rifle, or he'd pick up a UNSC
I will say the coolest
sniper.
new weapon from Halo 4 was the saw. I love the saw so much. That one is kind of the exception to it. That is the point where like Halo 4 made a weapon that I completely agree with and is completely okay with me. I fucking love that gun. If they would have made more guns like that, like completely new ideas, and it wasn't even a completely new idea. It was just a new idea.
Heavier assault rifle.
Heavier assault rifle that like killed like a power weapon. It killed that fast.
The thing, like the only real times I saw that happen was with a sniper rifle, but I don't really think he got I only remember like maybe once that he had a sniper rifle and a binary rifle.
Well, I remember.
And there's one mission. There's that like swamp mission, that Infinity.
Yeah.
That went forever.
Yeah.
That was the one I think that we like because almost every other group had a sniper, like a binary rifle enemy in it, and that's where we would just continually get the binary rifle stuff. I don't think that we really ever.
I remember that happening on the level with where I think it was you started out on the big elephant-like thing. And then there was at one point where you hopped off and you had sniper rifles and you sniped into people, but then those people would also have beam rifles.
Counter snipers, yeah.
Yeah, so you could lose one sniper, pick up the beam rifle.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That kind of thing happened.
But it makes sense, though, that they were doing that.
But you didn't need, like...
Because it's tactically what you would do.
But what if... Here's a crazy idea. What if when you killed that sniper rifle, the weapon disappeared? And it does.
Suck ass.
Or that it was just out of ammo.
But then that just means
something.
you have to be careful with the sniper shots you take. You don't just like bam, 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 bam.
Well, what about the other guns that you have?
What other guns?
Like, say, if you had a battle rifle, you ran out of ammo with that, you went to go pick up a gun that from the enemy you just killed, and no, it's not there.
It also doesn't make sense when you pick up a weapon from an enemy how it has full ammo.
A lot of times
It
doesn't. To be fair, it doesn't most of the time. Unless you kill them super early. If you kill them super early to the point where they haven't shot yet. Yeah, but even then, a lot of times they'll be missing.
Maybe I'm just that good.
It won't be super.
Maybe
empty.
I'm just that good because I always
get
100% full weapon.
What you said about the battle rifle thing, the battle rifle isn't a power weapon. It's a regular weapon.
It's a common weapon.
The thing is, I'm not mad at that. It makes sense that it would fall off a dead enemy, but the thing is, if it's a power weapon, you're not supposed to have it a lot of the time. And I felt like I always had a power weapon a lot of the time because of how many different variations of the same power weapon existed. And how many different ones you could pick up throughout the game.
I don't know. I guess we had to yet again agree to disagree.
You do a lot of that. You never just change your mind.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm stubborn. Stubborn
All
and
right.
set my ways.
That was a long discussion.
Only about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That was good though.
It was a good discussion.
It was good.
We hit a lot of the points that we did try the first time, but then we came up with new ones.
So I remember back in the Halo 1, the first part of our PodCouch for the Halo, our series on this, we were going to say again what our favorite Halo game was. And I know we kind of already said it, but we'll just go again. Just
let's see if we can do a top 3.
Okay.
Top 3 favorite Halo games.
I'll say Halo Reach, Halo 3. Because, those are so close to me. Like, Halo 3 has more nostalgic value, but I just like the story of Halo Reach a lot better.
Yeah.
And then the third one... Ooh, that is tough. Probably the first Halo, actually. I really did like the first Halo game.
For me, it would be Halo 3, pretty definitively. Halo 3 is my favorite game of all time. And then the other two, depending on what day you ask me, would swap between Halo Reach and Halo 2. Those two games, it's always been like a really close competition between those two games. Halo Reach added a lot more to the multiplayer that I enjoyed, but then again, Halo 2, it might just come to nostalgia, but it had so many good memories of that game.
What about you,
And I like the campaign of Halo 2 more.
Also, it's shitty because I've never played Halo 2.
Oh, yeah?
So I can't, I'm sure that probably would be up in my top 3 if I would have played it.
It's
because, what are my other choices? 4, which I just watch you guys play.
4, Wars, ODST.
And then 1.
And then 1.
There's not that much choice. There's not that much choice.
Spartan Assault?
I have not played that.
No one has. Anyway.
No one has.
Anyway.
I'd say... I honestly don't know. I really like all of them for their own reasons.
Make a top 3 before I maim you.
Chad, we are ending on your top 3. That's a way to do it. Otherwise, we won't end.
Well, Halo 4, just because I liked a lot of what it did.
As in your top?
Yeah.
Like number 1? Okay.
Right now. Yeah. ODST isn't on the top because I don't want to consider it a game since it was technically supposed to be an add-on. I'd just throw it off to the side as like a would-be
honorable
number 2.
mention.
Yeah, honorable mention. Halo 3, because like Chase said, a lot of nostalgia, lots of hours spent on that. And number 3 would be probably Halo 1.
All right. Well, adding on the last one, that might be between 3 and 4 hours of solid Halo discussion.
Yeah. What a long and strange journey it's been.
What's that from?
I don't know, Brad. I don't know what it's from.
That's from a thing.
We're gonna play this game again.
Oh, that's Halo, isn't it? That's one of the achievements.
Yeah.
Isn't it also in WoW?
Yeah. It is in WoW.
They referenced
For the purple Drake.
Yeah.
Did
Did that come from something, or is there
I think
just
that's
two
from
separate references?
that's got to be from something.
Two separate references, all from the same.
Regardless of that, I think we should probably end it.
It's only been a lot of time on this.
Everybody here at Unauthorized Access just wants to thank everybody for listening, for spending this much time listening to three people just talk about Halo for 4 hours.
Hopefully, if you've listened all the way through, that means you're a Halo fan. In which case, we all agree.
Yep.
You're awesome. The game is awesome. You have good taste.
Or you're just a fan of us, and you're even more awesome.
I
like you. I like you even more.
Again, you have good taste.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely say so. All right, guys. Like I said, this has been Unauthorized Access with Chase,
Brad,
and Chad.
We'll see you later. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Signing off.